All right, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the live stream. This is actually going to be my last live stream for probably about a week or so. I'm going to be going out of town, like basically all of next week. I will have content for you, but it's probably going to be pre-recorded. So enjoy this while it lasts, okay, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I'll see you guys in about like 3 minutes here. I'm going to start the countdown, and don't go anywhere. I'll see you then. So true. I'm telling you, Vince-Dow nationalism, literally the future of the Republican Party. You cannot stop it. Yo, look, I'm the baby now.
This monument will never be desecrated. These heroes will never be defaced. From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
John, thoughts on Vince-Dow nationalism?
Oh, I mean, I've been campaigning that for the better part of 3 years now. Before I even knew Vince, it actually appeared to me in a dream, and I just have sort of been trying to like subtly, when they say John Doyle dog whistles, he does, but not the way they think. It's always about Vince-Dow nationalism. They say I'm like a white nationalist. No, I'm a Vince-Dow man.
Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo as long as we are led by politicians who will not put America first. Then we can be assured that other nations will not treat America with respect, the respect that we deserve. The American people will come first once again.
Millions of Americans sincerely love Donald Trump. They love Donald Trump because no one else loved them. The country they built, the country their ancestors fought for over hundreds of years, has left them to die in their unfashionable little town, mocked and despised by the sneering half-wits with finance degrees but no actual skills who seem to run everything all of a sudden.
That stream intro is still, I would argue, like objectively one of the best stream intros there ever is out there. It's just so true. But anyways, guys, what is going on? All right, listen. The time has come, okay? I firmly, personally believe that this is like the end boss of this YouTube channel. Okay, it's the final boss. Not to say we won't do content or talk about like bad conservatism after this, because of course we will. But it is to say that if we do not right the ship of what it means to be a conservative, if we do not clearly define what a conservative is, if we do not, basically lay out the platform that I went over in the anti-woke conservative dissertation, which really, I would say that video was largely about, was people like this. This is the end result of that. Okay. You've probably seen that very famous meme about like the conservatives of like 2025 or 2045. And it's basically like everything liberals believe today, but by then they're calling it a conservative, right? You've seen that meme. I think you know what it's talking about. I think it's true. We always say like, the conservatives today are just the liberals of 10 years ago. So I was really debating whether or not I should even give this joke of an organization the attention it kind of seeks, right? But I came to the conclusion, well, first of all, they blocked me on Twitter, okay? And personally, for me, that's just like enough. We're going to talk about Gen Z GOP, okay? But I think there's also a case to be made. Like, let this scare you. Let this scare the hell out of you. This is the movement that we are going to basically live with if we do not basically right the ship and we do not take control of this stuff, okay? It's just so true. So let me start with a single picture. All right. So just so we can get an idea of who we're talking about tonight, what we're going to be discussing. Let's just keep in mind that this is an organization that has the endorsement of Bill Kristol. Remember this, okay? Bill Kristol. So this is not something that's like endorsed by Lindsey Graham or Mitch McConnell or like Bill Kristol. All right. Bill Kristol, for people who don't know this, some people probably young, was George W. Bush's chief of staff, right? Him and John Bolton were essentially the architects of the Iraq War. That is who Bill Kristol is. Bill Kristol is rabidly anti-Trump. He was like a big part of the Lincoln Project. He was heavily involved with that. That's who he is, all over CNN and stuff, like that kind of drill, right? So that's who Bill Kristol is. Remember, the organization we're going to talk about tonight has the endorsement of this guy. And I promise you, when we talk about Gen Z GOP tonight, this will make, okay, listen to me when I say this, and I'm not lying when I say this, okay? This will make like YAF and Turning Point USA look like the greatest things ever in retrospect, okay? That's how bad this is. Because I know people sometimes say, oh, you call out other conservatives too much. Why don't you attack the left? First of all, this is more fun. But secondly, trust me, when we go through these guys, you guys are going to see that these people are literally not right-wing at all. To provide more context to the group we are talking about tonight, let me stop this screen and let me actually show you a different thing. So basically, who these guys are basically just neoliberals. I mean, that's what Gen Z GOP, quote unquote, is. Essentially, their entire agenda and their entire case is that in order to win Gen Z, right, and that's the plan, it's called Gen Z GOP after all, what the Republican Party has to do is essentially become the party of neoliberalism, okay? And hey, no wonder they're endorsed by Bill Kristol, right? That's essentially their case. It's like, in order to win Gen Z, this is what they believe, and I'll show you that this is what they believe. We need to become completely socially liberal, like on every issue, become socially liberal, and be radically left on the environment. Okay, all about climate change. Apparently, according to them, if we don't address climate change, if the Republican Party does not create a strong, solid platform centered around climate change, we will never win Gen Z. I'll explain that, and I'll explain why that's also really a lie. And essentially, you're liberal on every single kind of social issue, cultural issue, but marginally believe somewhat in like lower taxes and stuff. What did I warn about in the woke dissertation? I was like, this is where conservatism is heading. This is what they're trying to redefine conservatism into. Gen Z GOP may look to a joke to you right now. Trust me when I say, if we don't take control of this, this is literally where the movement is headed. It's just so true. And they blocked me on Twitter, so they deserve to be talked about. And I'm sure many of you guys, judging by the amount of people who wanted to watch this stream, I'm guessing many of you guys kind of already know the story here, so I won't go too much into explaining them. But just know this is a youth organization, quote unquote, that's essentially funded and, I don't know, funded, but endorsed by Bill Kristol. It's just so true. We got a super chat from Sam Matson. Sam Matson says, they'll literally compromise on on anything except what they really need to compromise on, which is economics. It's just so true. But anyways, let's read this. So just to get a further idea of who we're talking about here, This is what their press release that they put out. This is November 7th. So this is probably when Joe Biden, just around the time Joe Biden was declared the winner, right, of the election. So what does Gen Z GOP? See, keep in mind, this is not even something that like Young America's Foundation, YAF, which is like super establishment, super neocon, literally shills for Reaganism. This is not even something they would say, okay? This is how bold this organization is and how rabidly anti-Trump and just straight up, I would say, controlled opposition that they are. After Joe Biden is declared the winner of the election, Gen Z GOP says, Gen Z GOP looks forward to the new Republican Party. In a historic rebuke of the progressive left and the false promises and divisiveness of Trumpism, Gen Z GOP is ready for the torch to be passed to a new generation of Republican leadership. Yeah, a new generation, right? The new generation where you're shilling for George Bush and you're all about Bill Kristol and you're endorsed by Bill Kristol, right? According to them, that's a new generation of Republican leadership. This that new generation is ready to address the issues that the party of the past has long ignored. The time, and I warned about this. Didn't I warn about this? The time for a new coalition of racially, economically, and geographically diverse Republicans has now arrived. For the millions of Americans who voted against Trumpism, millions more voted for common sense conservative leadership down the ballot. Oh yeah, because it's not like presidential coattails are a thing, right? Americans showed that common sense republicanism with an orientation toward integrity and results can rule in the next iteration of the GOP. Blah, 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 blah. Diversity this, diversity that. Let's see here. Republicans have lost the White House. Da, 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 da. Oh, here we go. Yet, okay, look, what did I warn you about? Yet, the Republican Party has not lost the opportunity to lead on environmental issues, racial injustice, immigration. Okay, and what do they mean by immigration, right? Yes, we should be the leaders on immigration, but, what do they mean by that? Oh, let's multiply the 1965 Immigration Act, right? Foreign policy, again, not like an isolationist foreign policy, or not even the foreign policy that liberals traditionally used to hold, but Bill Kristol's foreign policy, economic recovery, and other issues that are critical to young Americans. Oh yeah, they just don't understand young Americans. This opportunity comes at a time when it is abundantly clear that is blah blah blah. All right, so just to get an idea, that's kind of who we're talking about here. All right, Paul Ryan on steroids, Mitt Romney on steroids, Bill Kristol endorsed. It's literally just so true. Sam Madsen sends me another $5. He says they'll literally need to compromise on everything except which they need to compromise. It's so true. It's just true. I got another one from this guy up here. Who is this? Ethan Ellis says, I could only imagine these grifter conservatives, quote unquote, embracing transracialism. Probably will. Okay. Anyways, with that being said, I feel like I've adequately explained this organization, and we'll go on their Twitter page. We'll basically explain more of this. But recently, this week, they kind of relaunched. I don't know exactly, but they basically relaunched, I believe, because they have this new video that's like their big launch video. It's just so poorly done. Okay, that's what's so funny. The controlled opposition that this is not even good. Okay, the people like the kids who, and they're not even kids. They're like 20. There's like these people are like in college and graduated college. So these people are like 20 or more years old, and I'm 18. Okay, so keep that in mind. I'm 18. All right, I have energy. I have things to say. I have personality. These people, it's like the physiognomy of these people in the sense that you can see in their eyes that they just have no souls, and they have no souls when they speak. Let's take a look, okay? And I feel like that's probably a good place to start, because I don't know, like most people know the lore behind Gen Z GOP, but I don't really fully know how to like contextualize this organization fully. So instead, I think what we could do is just react to them, and I'll kind of explain as we go along. But I guess this was back in July 2020. I think this might have been actually their first launch video. And this is the thing that Bill Kristol retweeted, okay? And so why don't we actually start by taking a look at this? This is very funny. So I've not seen this before. So I'm watching this
We've grown up
opening launch video for the first time. But literally right off the bat, who are they showing, huh? Who is that, huh? The new GOP. Oh, George W. Bush. That's your new GOP, right? These people don't want a new GOP or whatever that means, right? Essentially, what they want is a return to like George Bush conservatism with a bunch of minorities and gays and like just a transracial, coalition basically going on here. But let's take a look at this video, right? Right off the gate. Very epic. Who do you see? Who do you see on the screen? What did I tell you? What did I tell you about these guys? Controlled opposition. I genuinely believe this, but let's continue to take a look.
Wounded country.
And faced daunting obstacles.
Some we've overcome. Others have only worsened.
Over the past few years, our political system has proven broken.
Our party hijacked.
Our values for
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Our party. See, I told you these guys are rabidly anti-Trump, and they're one of the few groups that is just not scared to say it. Our party hijacked by racists, in Trump and all this. But let's see. Yeah, your party, right? Yeah, your party. Let's see. Hold on. Can we take a look at this real quick? 2016 Republican primary final results. Let's just look at this real quick. Okay, let's see your party. Yeah, your party. Let me see. I wonder if I could get the total delegate margins. Delegates. Or let's see, maybe CNN or whatever this is has it. The delegate count. Yeah. Is that your party? Huh? No, the party belongs to us. It's been hijacked by Trump. Damn right it is. Okay, and it's not coming back. Look at that. Okay, look at that. All right. See that I think that's the thing that is actually a very common misconception, which is that basically like the 2016 primary for the Republicans was close. It was not close. Trump blew everyone out. All right. You look at this compared to Hillary and basically how close this was actually. The Democratic primary in 2016 was actually much closer. But yeah. Our party hijacked. Hold on. Let me just show this real quick. I show this whenever we talk about woke conservatism because it's simply so true. Here you go. You have the idea. See, here's where, let me show you what you're looking at. I mean, I've showed this many times on videos before, but for those who haven't seen this, this is essentially a political compass test done of the 2016 electorate, right? So this is like real America, right? We're talking about, right? So in the traditional political compass test, you know the story here. It's like this top quadrant is socially authoritarian, bottom quadrant socially, or actually in this case, it's more like socially conservative. Here is socially liberal, right? And then the right and left are the economic front. So the right is economic conservatism, right? Generally, we're talking like lower taxes, deregulation, stuff like that. The left is economic liberalism. Now, take a look at the actual 2016. See, this is key. Oop. Sorry, I accidentally set off the SOS on my thing. But so this is essentially where Gen Z GOP wants us to move in, all right? So this is socially liberal, economically conservative, the neoliberal Republican Party. Look how actual rare that is in the real American electorate. Like you can tell that populism essentially is real, right? Socially conservative, more centrist on the economic issues, right? That's where a lot of real America is. And if anything, if you want to flank, you would flank over here, not over here, right? So just to show the idea, the fusion, even like fusionists, but like people like this, these woke conservatives, whatever the hell their ideology is such a small minority in the American electorate. I think people need to understand that, and even among Gen Z, sorry. It still doesn't really exist.
In a wounded country.
But anyways, let's continue to take a look at this.
Our values,
of course, our values forgotten. Yeah. What values? What values? Huh? Bill Kristol's values. Yeah. We're real conservatives. You see, we support both gay drag queen story hour, and we support bombing the Middle East. Okay, aren't we just the best party? Gen Z will love this. So true.
As Republicans. Yeah. We believe that the party of Lincoln is worth saving from its current flirtation with authoritarian populism.
Oh no, authoritarian populism. Yeah, shut up, nerd. We are literally inevitable. You're not stopping us. Shut up, losers.
But
authoritarian populism. This is so funny. What are they showing a video of? This is when the National Guard, I believe, had to occupy the Lincoln Memorial, not because of Capitol siege protesters. This was because they were occupying the Lincoln Memorial because BLM people across the country were literally burning federal monuments to the ground and tearing them down. So is that your authoritarian populism? Oh, actually, and they mentioned earlier, we are the party of Lincoln. So protecting the Lincoln Memorial with the National Guard because there are a bunch of communist revolutionaries and terrorists trying to tear it down, according to them, that's the authoritarian populism we just cannot have. Yeah, the party of Lincoln should allow the destruction of the Lincoln Memorial. That makes sense. So true.
Do not seek to return to the politics of the past.
We seek to
We don't seek to return to the politics of the past. Really, really. So you show that's Newt Gingrich, right? I don't even recognize him when he's so young. But so you're not trying to return to this guy. Take a look at this. So Newt Gingrich is, formerly the former House Speaker and stuff. Used to be kind of like the House leader for the Republican Party. He is old GOP, obviously, but the difference is that Newt is a Trump supporter, right? He likes Trump. But they're perfectly fine, and they do support, this guy right here, right? Because he's anti-Trump. Yeah, okay. All right, buddy. All right,
We
buddy.
seek to present a new vision. A vision that does not cave to the polarized choices of left and right, but one that embraces nuance, freedom, and opportunity.
We strive to be a GOP.
Keep that in mind as well. One that embraces nuance. Okay, we're going to talk about their nuance in a little bit. Okay, and I'll explain why that's just so stupid. But we'll talk about them in a little bit.
That pursues climate change solutions that harness American innovation and create green energy jobs.
A GOP that can embrace Americans of all backgrounds.
Oh, here we go. So we got the climate change, Americans of all backgrounds, an endorsement of Black Lives Matter. Okay, so not even like criminal justice reform or whatever, an outright endorsement of, let's see, what did we have here? So we had gay marriage, an outright endorsement of that, not even like a fence sitting take, an outright endorsement, and of Black Lives Matter. This is the future of the Republican Party. Gay marriage, Black Lives Matter. Let's see what else is there. Mitt Romney marching at Black Lives Matter. Here we go. So true. Again, so what do they want? They don't want the Republican Party of the past when it's Newt Gingrich, someone who actually is a fan of Trump. Bill Kristol is perfectly fine. Mitt Romney, who literally embodies the Republican Party of the past, he was a past failed Republican presidential candidate. That's fine. They're endorsing of this guy. But Newt Gingrich, that's the problem, because he's a kind of an old establishment guy that actually does like Trump and sticks up for Trump.
That Black Lives Matter and work to combat injustice and inequality.
A GOP that engages private-public partnerships to provide accessible healthcare as a better alternative to the fiscal infeasibility of Medicare for all.
A GOP that embraces strong diplomacy.
Compromise on everything. Here we go. Strong diploma. Oh, okay. So look at strong diplomacy. Who do we have right here? Who is that? Who is that? Oh, is that W. Bush? H.W. Bush, I mean? Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. That's our strong diplomacy. Okay. Don't want to go back to the politics of the past. Oh, endorsed by Bill Kristol, praising H.W. Bush as like strong diplomacy here.
Strong diplomacy and
multilateral institution. Of course, we have the globalists, right? The globalist order. This is the Republican Party's future. Wow.
To promote the global good and protect national interests.
I did see the super chat. I'll read that in a second.
Values the contributions of immigrants while pursuing bipartisan reform.
Yes, shill for more immigration. Here we go.
And a GOP that promotes free trade.
Free trade. Here we go. All right. Could they take the worst possible stance on every single issue, or could they not do that? Actually, I made a gaffe there. Okay, so free trade. Let's add that to the list of things we need in the new Republican Party. Oh my gosh. Like, it's just everything that's good in the world and everything I think that's redeemable about the modern Republican Party, they just want to erase it. All of it.
Actually,
oh my gosh.
Fiscal responsibility.
Yeah, so free trade, but fiscal. Okay, I got it. Cool.
To focus more on expert commentary that provides nuance, not one-dimensional talking heads who seek profits at the expense of a deceived and polarized opponent.
No, I like literally, like, I'm not even a fan of Hannity. I will shill for him in comparison to this nuance. Oh, we need to embrace nuance. What is that? The American Enterprise Institute? Oh yeah, such nuance right there. Yeah, I don't even care. I'll show for Hannity. I'll show for Charlie. I'll even show for Rachel Maddow. I don't even care. Like these guys, these guys are just pissing me off so much. Gen Z GOP that I don't even care. I will show for the establishment just to own you guys. It's, okay. What? Oh, you know what? Suddenly I love Charlie Kirk. Suddenly I love Sean Hannity. So true.
Expensive, deceived, and polarized.
Once informed, we can find balance to formulate policies that
it's just cringe.
We're launching Gen Z GOP because our generation needs a palatable alternative to the political left, which today's GOP has failed to provide.
It's up to our generation to do better for our party and our country.
With a new approach, we can truly achieve greatness in the future.
Join us.
So cringe. Okay, could they be even any more cringe? Okay, you see what this essentially is. So on every like contentious issue that matters, right? So racial issues, whatever it is, essentially what they're demanding is to cave to the left, right? Just cave to the left on every social issue, cultural issue that is actually relevant. But when it comes to something like that, what's important to them, free trade, the foreign policy of Bill Kristol and George Bush, they're all fine for that, right? So I would say what this essentially is like neoconservatism on steroids. Well, what it really is basically neoliberalism, right? It's like free trade, global wars, Bill Kristol's foreign policy, John Bolton's foreign policy. But in terms of domestic policy, we cave to the left on literally everything. Oh, and we marginally say we like low taxes and balanced budgets, and that's it. That's the party they're essentially pushing for. That's the party they want. And I mean, really, this ultimately is like just neoconservatism at its finest, isn't it? Keep free trade, keep invading the Middle East. Don't compromise on that. But every cultural issue, let's compromise on that, right? So, anyways, that was their, I guess, their launch video, whatever it is. Let's take a look at what they're actually up to now. So, actually, let me tell you what I find funny. So these guys have been around July 2020. So they've been around for almost a year now, right? And they're verified, okay? They use their Bill Kristol neocon connections in Washington, and they are based out of Washington, D.C. It's funny. It looks like their whole staff is basically made up of, like, George Washington and Georgetown University students. It's just true. But in this long period, they've amassed 6,300 followers. Meanwhile, our organization, the APU, right? And by the way, we're not even explicitly like a Gen Z organization, right? But that is our main audience, right? We're for all age groups, but that is like our main thing. We've been around for what, like 2 months now? Only about a month and a half now. Bam! Already passed them. Actually, we passed them in followers like basically as soon as we launched. You love to see it, right? You love to see it. Anyways, let me actually kind of let's just take a look though at their new launch ad. Okay, so this is their I don't know their 1 year anniversary or whatever, but this is their big manifesto. Okay, so according to this is the future of the GOP according to Gen Z GOP. Actually, I forgot. I said I was going to read that super chat. Right? Someone sent me $10. I actually can't scroll up to see it, but I remember what it said. It said something along the lines of like, bro, you red pilled me, basically, in the sense that like you're waking me up to all this like bad conservatism. I looked at it. That's what that super chat said. So true. Thank you very much for the $10. I appreciate it. But yeah. Ron Paul is I wouldn't say Ron Paul is a neocon. He's just a massive libertarian. There is a difference. There's a difference because core to neoconservative ideology is the invasion of foreign nations, the invasion of the Middle East, and basically putting the certain foreign policy interest of certain countries above that of the United States. And Ron Paul was actually very against that. So I wouldn't call him a neocon. What he is just like a principled libertarian, which I'm not a fan of, but I think there is a difference. I would actually say someone like I personally find someone like Ron Paul to be more based and more useful than someone like, Gen Z GOP or Bill Kristol or George Bush, right? Because at the very least, Ron Paul agrees with me on something, which is like basically foreign policy, and at least he actually recognizes the flaw. At least he is anti-establishment, right? Whereas people like this, they literally represent the establishment. But anyways, with that being said, let's not be around the bush. This is their new video. Okay, take a look at this. They posted this like this week, and I would watch it on my own Twitter account, but they blocked me. Okay, they blocked me. So
we are Generation Z.
Wow, they got the diversity and everything. Let's go.
We are the most creative and eager generation. Despite all of the memes and contrary to popular belief, we are not automatically Democrats.
Can I just show you something? And with this girl specifically, I think this girl's name is Ella or something like that. I think that's her name, right? And, something, by the way, I'll show you in a second, but this girl actually, she didn't just support Hillary in 2016. And, to be fair, maybe we should give her a little bit of slack because, she's young. A lot of young people did change their views since 2016, but she didn't just support Hillary Clinton. She worked on the Hillary Clinton campaign. Okay. And by the way, she also voted for Joe Biden. Okay, she basically voted for Joe Biden, according to her. I read this article on her, like as a protest vote, as like a Lincoln Project, you know, oh, this is not my Republican Party, we're returning to civility kind of protest vote. But I want to point out something. You can see it basically in all these members, but you can especially see it in her. It's like, and this is something I've kind of noticed. When you look into, and not to be too mean, but it's just true. Okay, like when you look into her eyes, you can notice that, like, I don't know. It's basically like she sold her soul to the devil. Like you can just see it in her eyes. Like you can just see like there's just sort of lack of life like behind her. And maybe you can't necessarily see it so much in this video, but I'll show it to you in other stuff. And I'll show it to you like in this physiognomy is real. But I'll show it to you in basically when we go through all these people, like you can just see it in their eyes. Like they just have no soul. Like who stole their soul? What is going on here? You know what I mean? Like this is just controlled opposition to the max. It's like these people are being held hostage by something. It's like you can just see it in them. But anyways, let's keep watching this video, and I'll show you like a little bit later in the stream what I'm really talking about. Like, because this is something I don't always notice this, but like this is something I just noticed. You can just see it in their faces. Like they are just they've sold their souls essentially.
Automatically Democrats. Some
Gen Z are not automatically Democrats. Oh, works on the Hillary Clinton campaign in 2016. Oh, literally votes for Joe Biden and admits to voting for Joe Biden in 2020. But what is her premise? What is she here to say? Gen Z are not automatically Democrats. Yeah, we're called, by the way, that's what's funny too. We're called Gen Z GOP. Gen Z GOP votes for Democrats, literally votes for Democrats. That's the Gen Z GOP, is a GOP that does not even vote for the GOP.
Times they just feel like they're the only option.
Equality, education, the environment, and entrepreneurship. The 4 E's that are key to preserving the GOP in the long run.
Okay, so take a look at this. Okay, let's look at these 4 E's very seriously. So according to them, again, these are like what did he say? He didn't just say these are important issues or issues we want to be talked about. He straight up said that these are the 4 issues that will like literally make or break the future of the Republican Party. That's what he said. He says basically the Republican Party's future rests on whether or not the Republican Party can address like these central super important issues. Okay, like if the Republican Party doesn't address this, it's screwed. There is no more Republican Party. This is all our future hangs on the balance of these 4 issues. These 4 issues: equality, education, and the environment, and entrepreneurship. Okay, so if we don't address this, we're screwed. We're literally forever screwed. Let's take a look. I can say it right now, but actually they'll go through these, and I'll basically examine this. Okay, so let's take a look.
Entrepreneurship. The 4 E's that are key to preserving the GOP in the long run.
We're the most diverse generation in American history.
Above all, we are the generation ready to lead our country to a brighter future in the 21st century.
I'm not going to say it, but, you know, the physiognomy is real.
Let me introduce you to some of my friends. We're going to show you how we're going to do this.
You can kind of see it in this guy's eyes too. I mean, I wouldn't say as much, but it's, you know what I mean? Like, you can kind of see it that like, you just like, you can just see when someone's kind of sold their soul. You know what I mean? They're just empty inside. It's very hard to describe, but honestly, I feel like you guys can see it too. It's just like, you can just see that like this guy is just a shell. Like he's just a robot inside, you know, there's nothing there.
This on the conservative side of the aisle.
You know, we talk a lot about equality, but conservatives need to be engaged. This means promoting an equality of opportunity for all voices. No more litmus tests. Give people the freedom.
No more litmus tests. You know what that means? You know what that means? No more litmus tests essentially means like, you know, it doesn't matter like who you are or what your lifestyle is like, you know, you deserve a platform at the front of the Republican Party. Okay. That, you know, you could literally be an OnlyFans creator, and we're not here to judge. We don't have litmus tests. Okay. Speaking at the RNC. So true. You stripper. Hey. $8 million speaking at the RNC. So true. Right. But anyways, so
freedom and security to live their own lives.
All right, so take a look at this. Okay, this is the one I really love. Okay, so equality to them, that's like the Republican Party does not do this. It's like it's the future is doomed for us. Okay, so take a look. The next issue is education for them. Again, keep in mind they're literally saying if the Republican Party does not address this, like we're screwed. Like this is like a generational issue that we must face. Okay, take a look. Watch this. Education. Now, keep in mind. I actually would agree with them in on some degree, but not the way they're saying, right? I would say that yes, education is literally the issue that Republicans must address if we are to survive. But it revolves around, right, the leftist indoctrination, right? Like we must basically fix the education system, take the education system for ourselves, because kids are being taught, poisonous, racist, anti-white, left-wing propaganda as like their education. And like, that's what we need to be doing something about, because they're literally raising, a future generation of revolutionaries, essentially. Like that's what's happening. I would actually respect them if they said that was like one of the most important issues, because I genuinely do believe that is one of the most important things that the Republican Party absolutely must address and do something about if we are to survive. But that's not what their take is on education. Listen to what they have to say about education, okay?
As an immigrant from Cote d'Ivoire, I have benefited from world-class education right here in America. It will help me achieve my dreams and eventually attain my...
Did you guys see that, by the way? This is something, I didn't even notice this because I wasn't looking that carefully, but this is something that people were pointing out. Notice how this guy literally, watch his eyes, okay? Watch his eyes. So he's talking. He literally looks up at his cue cards, okay? You can see he has cue cards up here. Literally stops, looks up, looks down, and then, looks up again, right? And then looks back down, and he's like, yeah, now I got... Oh, looks up. There he goes again. Okay, there he goes again. All right? And listen, I understand. Oh, he did it again. Look how many times this guy looks up. Okay, so now keep this in mind, right? So obviously it's like sometimes, yeah, you need to be reading off of stuff because, when I do videos, I very rarely use a script. Most of the time I just freehand it. So every once in a while, I'll kind of write down a video, right? But like, I understand kind of the need to read off something if you're talking for like, multiple minutes, right? But how long is this guy talking? So we got 101 to, let's see, how long is that? 117. So that's 15 seconds. 16 seconds. All right. This guy can't go 16 seconds and like just remember what he has to say. All right. All right. But you want to work in politics, buddy. All right. You want to work in politics. And you can't talk without a cue card for 16 seconds. That is sad. Like these guys they make memes out of themselves. I mean, it's just so true. And this is how like basically dead of personalities that they have. This is the future of the Republican Party, the brave new future. People who are like literally like just dead inside, like they just have no souls or anything like that. That's who the future is. But look, let's see what he has to actually say about education.
Right here in America, it will help me achieve my dreams and eventually attain my citizenship. But my story is the exception, not the rule.
Look at it.
We need to pursue education reforms that lift up all students right here in the United States.
I grew up.
That's it. That's all they have to say about education, And it's like, okay, I vaguely agree with that, I guess. Yeah. Fix the education system. Yeah, the education system is broken. It needs to be better. Okay. But to say like that in itself is like the generationally defining issue for the Republican Party. Oh, make the school system better test scores, right? Lower dropout rate. No, it's just not the case. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but to come out and say that like that's like the top 4 issues for the Republican Party, right? Like, what did he even say? He basically said nothing, by the way. That's what's fun. Like, there was zero substance to what he said. Actually, let's listen to it again. You can see there's zero substance to this whatsoever. It's just such an irrelevant take. You know what I mean? It's just he basically says nothing. But again, to say that like, oh, making the school system better, like that the Republican Party won't survive without that. That's like a top 4 issue. No, it's just not. Okay, it's just not. It matters, sure. But top 4, really? Let's take a look.
World-class education right here in America. It will help me achieve my dreams and eventually attain my citizenship. But my story is the exception, not the rule. We need to pursue education reforms that lift up all students right here in the United States.
No, it's not that important. Okay, it's important. Yeah, fix the education system. Always be doing that. But to say it's top 4 is just so stupid. What I find funny too is actually well let's just go on. But I think basically what they did with this one, okay, let me tell you what happened here. They said we're gonna make the 4 E's. I don't know why E, by the way. I think because they started with environment and just went from there, because these guys are so big on the environment. There's like, oh, what's something else that starts with E? Oh, education. Just throw that in. Like, you know what I mean? With like no regard for is this actually important or not. They basically just threw that in. But he sounds so dull, so true. It's like these people have zero personality. You know what I mean? And maybe to an extent, let's see. Sam Mattis has no litmus test except not being a social conservative. So true, right? So true. But yeah, let's keep watching here. All right. But yeah, that's just the theme with all these people. People sound so dull. It's like our controlled opposition, and they are controlled opposition. Let's be honest. These guys are basically like an attempt to recreate the basically to take like an organization like Turning Point or YAF or whatever, which I think have plenty of problems, but at least are kind of like there, right? Or kind of represent somewhat of like mainstream conservatism, right? Basically take something like that and make like try to recreate the Lincoln Project, right? That's basically what this is. This is like if Turning Point or YAF or PragerU, whatever they're trying to like recreate, were the Lincoln Project. That's what they're trying to do here. When you really take a look, right? So, let's keep watching.
I grew up in the rural Midwest.
You're a disgrace to the rural Midwest, woman. Okay, you are a disgrace to the rural Midwest. Oh, I grew up in the rural Midwest. Yeah, like Trump country, right? Like working class, blue collar, populist, nationalist part of America. Okay, you are a disgrace. Okay, you are a disgrace to this family. Okay. Wow. To think the rural Midwest created someone like this. So sad. You hate to see it. Okay, you hate to see it. Oh man, not good at all.
I saw firsthand the importance of a natural environment. Not only does it matter to the livelihood of millions of American farmers, but it's also God's creation and which we have a moral obligation to protect.
Gen Z is independent. We think freely.
Like I wouldn't even say I'm like the best looking guy or whatever, but the utter like just man. All right, hold on. Freaking Isaac keeps calling me. Give me a second, bro. I'm on stream right now. What do you want? Stop calling me. Yeah. Okay. All right. Peace. Oh, my Korean friend. Koreans be like, call me in the middle of stream. All right. Anyways. Oh my gosh.
But in order to fulfill our full potential, we need the tools and climate to pursue our passions, fulfill our dreams, and enact positive change.
If we want to preserve the freedom and security that we love,
the freedom and security that we love, yeah. That because they're all about that, right?
Winning the ideological battle against the left. We must
wait. What did he say? Winning the ideological battle against? You cannot beat the left in any ideological battle if you literally are the left, buddy. Okay, what's the famous Bryson line? Oh, you will never beat the left if you try to be the left. But it's just true. How are you win? What ideological battle are you fighting against the left? Oh, caving to them on every single issue, literally being the left. That's how you win the ideological battle against the left. Yeah, you can't win an ideological battle if you don't even fight the ideological battle. My gosh. I mean, my gosh, these guys, man. Hey, you see, the thing about this guy, too, this guy looks like he has the potential to be kind of based, he kind of, like, he's not entirely there, but he looks like someone who, like, actually could be someone who's pretty cool and pretty based and, like, puts America first. But instead, man, I have hope. I feel like this guy could have the most potential too, but he just doesn't. It's so sad.
Must grow
you hate to see
Gen
it.
Z's platform on the right.
So can I actually address the environment point? Okay, so this is what they're big on, by the way. We need to discuss this. One of the big things about this organization, and the big reason why they're the big reason why they're all about, like, oh, climate change, oh, environment, all this stuff. So, and they get this so wrong. They get this literally so wrong. They say that, oh, Gen Z takes environment and climate change very seriously. Therefore, in order for Republicans to win Gen Z, we have to basically go woke on climate issues. Okay, so that's why they said it. I've read through their stustuff, and this is what they say. They're like, it is that's why we need to talk about global warming and climate change. They're wrong though. Here's what people don't understand and what they seem to not understand. Gen Z does not actually care about climate change. Okay, they actually, what it really is a trendy social movement That's why Gen Z cares about climate change so much. Not because like they deeply think about it or care about it a lot. It's just one of those trendy social movements that they basically are able to get people to hop on. So whether it's climate change or March for Our Lives or Black Lives Matter or abortion, right? It's just one of those issues that they basically that they use effectively, and they spread a lot around the youth media, and they get to mobilize young leftists. Okay, so that's what people need to understand about this. So that's why, it's such a big thing with young people. Okay, it's a trend. It's a trendy thing. Okay, and so that's why it doesn't matter if the Republican Party were to adopt the Green New Deal or whatever it is. I mean, they would lose a lot of voters, by the way. Don't get me wrong. Places like Texas, all like they would lose. Pennsylvania, you would lose a lot of voters with the green agenda. But you would not even gain anything with Gen Z either, because that's what people need to understand. All it is with Gen Z is like one of those trends. So even if, the Republican Party manages to own the libs, hey, look, we have a better environmental policy than you do. Literally all they'll do is just move on to a different social issue, right? Oh, now it's all about abortion. Oh, now we're going to cave on abortion. Oh, now it's Black Lives Matter. Oh, we're going to cave on that. Don't jinx it. They already did. They already caved on Black Lives Matter, right? But like that's basically, that's what they need to understand about climate change. Well, I mean, they're totally disingenuous anyway, but it's like Gen Z will not care what your stance is on climate change, because all it is a mobilization tool for the left. They don't actually need to convince Gen Z on anything. It's just a way to mobilize people who are already left-wing and already vote Democrat, get them energized, get them excited to go to the polls. It is not an issue that changes minds. It's simply an issue that just mobilizes people. So it's just so true. Red Eagle's in chat. What's up? We got Red Eagle here. He says their physiognomy is horrendous. It is simply true. I mean, especially, like I said earlier, I don't know if Rep was here in the chat earlier, especially this Ellie girl, or Ella, whatever her name is. Her eyes, dude, like you can see in her eyes, she has sold her soul. Okay, you can like when she has sold her soul to Bill Kristol. Like you can just see it. Bill Kristol took her soul, just yanked it. Okay, yanked it, and now she has like nothing left. She looks empty inside. You can just see it in people. It's so true. You can see when people just sell out. It's just so true. Oh, entrepreneurship, all about that. Yeah. Okay, buddy. Apparently now, okay, so of course, yeah, they're big fans of Senator Tim Scott now. Of course, that tells you a lot, doesn't it? That tells you a lot. But let me go down and let me show you. There's something I wanted to really show you. This is, I don't even know if they have this still up because this was pretty old, but I'm guessing they did not delete it. Let me go over to their media so I can find it more quickly, right? So let me see. It basically was around the time that the pipeline hack, right? Let me see. When was that? Oh, okay, hold on. Let's just show this real quick. Can we just show this real quick? Okay. Again, like, okay, this guy, I feel like, this guy, he's like an immigrant. He's like a foreigner. I feel like he's just kind of involved to be involved. You can kind of see that this guy still has his soul. I think he's just genuinely clueless. But you can just see it. You could see it in her eyes. I'm just telling you, you can see it in these people's eyes. You can see that they've sold their soul to Bill Kristol and basically Satan in many ways, right? Let's see. What is this? Okay, okay, I'm on YouTube, so I won't go so far, but they definitely shilling for the vaccine, right? Right. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything beyond that, but let's see. Okay. Here's what I really wanted to show in terms of like physiognomy and stuff.
It's easy, it's quick.
And I won't comment on the message because we are on YouTube, okay? So I won't comment. But look at the physiognomy of this guy, okay? Specifically his eyes, right? You can see in his eyes he has no soul. Okay, he's a shell. He's a robot for Bill Kristol. Look at this.
Hey everybody, Gen Z GOP Chief of Staff Ryan Newt here. I just want to encourage you to get vaccinated. It's easy, it's quick. Don't wear masks. Get out there, live life, live summer. Support your community, support your family. Be patriotic. Getting vaccinated, it's quick, it's easy. Just get out there, get it done.
Listen to how dull this guy sounds. I mean, yeah, the physiognomy thing too. But listen to how dull he sounds as well. Like not only is there no life in his eyes, there's no life in his voice either. I mean, this guy is just like literally that. And then what is he? The vice president? Okay. Oh no, the chief of staff. Okay. So he's the chief of staff of Gen Z GOP. I don't even know what that is, but oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this dude. Look at this dude right here. But listen how dull that was. I mean, there is no energy in that. What's like why? Like what was that? You know? And it's not like, oh, but Vince, stop bullying him. He's young. Okay, I'm 18. I just turned 18 a few months ago. Okay, and I've been doing this since I was like 15. All right. And don't get me wrong, my content when I was 15 was terrible. But still, I firmly believe I had more energy and more enthusiasm and more just a sort of feeling of genuineness than this guy right here. Okay. And that's the thing is like, oh, he's just young. They're young, Vince. Give him a break. No, I will not. Okay. Because it's like, there are so many talented speakers in the conservative movement that are very young. Okay. Very, very, very young. 15 years old, 16 years old. You know, I'm 18. John Doyle is like, what, 20? You know, there's so many people who are not, John Doyle's older than that. I think he's like 21. But there's so many people who are like around our age that are such talented speakers. And the best that our controlled opposition could find was literally this. I mean, what was that? I mean, there's no life in his voice whatsoever. You know, I think your average kid in high school could honestly do better than this. But anyways, let's see. Oh yeah. We got the Hispanic representation right now. No, false. I am the Hispanic person expert. I refuse. I will not allow that to have a platform. All right, let's look at this guy though. So you got more vaccination stuff right here. Again, we're not talking about the content of the message, but look at the delivery, okay?
Hey, everybody, it's John Olds, the executive director of Gen Z GOP. And I just wanted to talk to you today about why I decided to get the COVID-19 vaccine. I talked to my doctor. I consulted my friends and family about the safety and efficacy of the vaccine. I absolutely trust what our scientists and Operation Warp Speed were able to put together in such a short period of time.
He's reading. Do you see that? He's reading. And he can't even read with energy. I'm like, could they not even have found someone who did like high school speech and debate? Like, I feel like there's no way these guys even did like high school level speech and debate. Because if they did, they would at least have like more competent speaking. Well, these guys all sound so like dead. Like, what is wrong with them?
And I got vaccinated because
this is the future of the Republican
so
Party.
many of the in-person events.
Zero energy.
Year and a half.
All right. We're not listening to you anymore. Let me find the video I wanted to find because this was bad. All right, but of course, celebrating June. Well, you know what? I'll give them credit. At least they didn't call it Juneteenth Independence Day. I'll give them credit. That's actually a rare Gen Z GOP halfway W. I mean, definitely not a full W, but a halfway W. I wonder if I can find this. American Conservative Climate Rally. When was this? This is in Miami. Okay, June 5th. I wonder how that was. I wonder how that was. But look at this. The end of COVID restrictions in DC and various graduation celebrations meant that some of our e-board got to meet for the first time. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. The physiognomy, it is real. It is absolutely real. Let me see if I can. Oh, okay, this was the video I wanted to show you.
This is Pat Byers, and I'm the VP of Political Affairs.
All right. So listen to this. This is the future of our party right now. These are the brave young people really leading the charge. No, okay, like and again, let me reiterate this. I do not understand how this is the best they could find. Okay, when Gen Z GOP sends its people, they're not sending their best. Okay, because there are just so many like young conservative people I can think of, and not necessarily all aligned with like our movement. People in like the mainstream too, like, but just in general, that are just way better at like speaking and delivery and can like talk. Unlike these people. Okay, listen, look at this guy. Look at this guy. So this is about cybersecurity. Check this out.
Hey guys, this is Pat Byers, and I'm the VP of Political Affairs for Gen Z GOP. I live in South Carolina, where I've been to about 10 or so different gas stations here and have yet been able to find a place to fill up my gas. While I'm worried about the gas, of course, I'm more worried about the issue of cybersecurity in America. And I can't help but think, but when the nation's leaders of today sit down and discuss this issue, we need to have future leaders and Gen Z leaders be at that table. We are the ones who are majoring in this subject. We are the ones taking on those high-tech career jobs. And we need to focus on this and make this a priority for Generation Z. Thank you guys, and I'm sure we'll be talking about this more.
Again, firstly, physiognomy check. Again, you can see it in these people. I don't know why they all have like eyes like this where you can just see that they're just dead inside, but it does not help. Like it's very easy to notice when you're talking with like such low energy. Like, what was that? You know, that is not something that you see out of like a serious, political organization, even something like Turning Point, which a lot of people often say is like cringe, there's still more life to it than like something like this. Like what is this? Like what is this? Like this is something. Actually, when I was in high school and I used to take film class, I remember one time I competed in like the C-SPAN. I don't know if some of you guys might have done this when you were in high school. It's like the C-SPAN like national film contest. You know what I mean? It's like basically you got to make like a documentary about some type of issue from like a Gen Z perspective or whatever. I didn't win. I would assume I didn't win because I would assume the reason I didn't win. I mean, I thought mine was pretty good, but the reason I probably didn't win is because I made mine like a conservative video in favor of the Second Amendment, which, I didn't expect really to win. I was kind of just doing it for the experience. But it's like, this is the type of stuff you'd see in that contest from like people from this high school film contest out of the ones that are not very good. Okay. It's like this level of energy, this kind of take, like, well, Gen Z needs to be involved in cybersecurity. This is not something that you would expect to see out of like a serious political organization, like at all. Okay. At all. But that's what you see from Gen Z GOP. It's just wow. I mean, just wow. I mean, what is this video? Like his take is so no good either. It's like, while I am, and the way he says it, it just doesn't help. It's like, while I am worried about the gas, I'm more worried about cybersecurity. It's like, first of all, it just sounds so virtue signally to begin with, but there's no substance to that. But more important, I'm not even worried about the substance. It is cringe. It is a cringe video, but like, the way can they not find anyone with like any more degree of life and energy than these people? I mean, these people are literally like, they're literally dead inside. Like, is this all they have? Like these people are literally clapped. Okay. They're outright clapped. It's just so true. But anyways, to exemplify more, let me talk about this more. Let's go over to, this is a great podcast, actually, they have. Oh, no, actually, what did I say? I said I was going to talk about their whole thing about nuance, right? Because that's their whole big thing. That's really what this organization is all about. It's like, our political viewpoints have nuance. Oh, we're like kind of centrist, right? We're able to bring together both sides, this and that. Okay. And let me actually find a clip. I did talk about this the other day on my Twitter account, which really exemplifies their whole thing about nuance, right? Let me show you why. Actually, before we do that, this is just so true. This is the girl I was talking about, right? Oh, Gabrielle. Okay, her name's Gabrielle. I thought her name was Ellie or Ella for some reason. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Literally worked on the Hillary Clinton campaign. Not for a few months, from January 2015 till November 2016. Yeah. And but of course, I would be a conspiracy theorist to kind of accuse her of maybe this is all controlled opposition, right? Maybe this is a literal psyop attempt to just destroy the GOP from within. Of course not. That could never be the case. But anyways, let me find it. I think I tweeted about it yesterday. Let me find that video. It's on my Twitter account. Follow me on Twitter if you're not, by the way. I'm pretty sure everyone is, but if you're not, follow me on Twitter at thevincedao. And be sure to while we're waiting, be sure to leave a like on the stream right now. Okay, go leave a like. It's called we like the video a little bit. Okay, so if you haven't done that, be sure to do that. While I find this, while I hunt down this lovely video that I found. I think I'm getting close. Okay, here it is. Okay.
The title of your piece is "I'm a Second."
So check this out. They have a podcast, by the way, which we will not listen to in its entirety, but you can go listen to their podcast. Again, it is so bad. No energy, no substance related to their takes whatsoever. It's just like, this is the best you could do. Okay. This is like the platform that like, this is like, this is you sending your best. I know a lot, like your average like Turning Point chapter member. And like, I know a lot of them that run their own podcasts way better than this. And these aren't people who are even like in the front of the organization. These are just people who like start their own podcasts. So much more energy. Okay. Shout out to them real quick. Cause like in comparison to this, Oh man. Like, all right, but anyways, just take a look at this. So this is their Gen Z GOP podcast. Again, you can hear like it just sounds like they're essentially reading off a script and not even reading it very well. But this is their discussion about gun control. Take a look at this. And a lot of libertarians were getting mad at this. And obviously I was mad at it for the same reason as well. But I really think that what really stood out to me was the way in which they frame political issues. Take a look at this.
The title of your piece is "I'm a Second Amendment Absolutist." So, do you want to kind of walk us through what that means to you? And like, did you always?
Just point that out real quick. He called himself a Second Amendment absolutist. Now, you'll listen, and this is not the point I'm trying to make, but this is just something funny I noticed. When you listen to his take, it literally is not a Second Amendment absolutist take at all, which is like whatever. But like, and it's not whatever. I shouldn't say that. It is. I think you should be a Second Amendment absolutist. But if you're going to take like a centrist point on the Second Amendment, don't call yourself a Second Amendment absolutist. But that's not the point I was going to make. But just listen to this. I think it's funny.
Hold this belief, or is this something that you've just recently come into? What has kind of been your journey and reasoning for kind of creating that as the title?
It's a great introduction to the piece about, supporting sort of, or rejecting actually all kinds of, not necessarily all kinds, but a lot of gun control restrictions. Now, this is not to say that I absolutely...
So that's your Second Amendment absolutist. He literally corrects himself. He's like, at first he's like, he's being based. He's like opposing all, actually, no, just most types. Actually, no, not to say this. Okay, but I just wanted to point that out. That's not the point I want to make on this though. The point I want to make, listen to how he says this.
Not to say that this is not to say that restrictions. Now, this is not to say that I absolutely want zero gun control. I think a lot of people, especially libertarians, see gun control as, any gun control is unconstitutional. I don't really ascribe to that view.
Many months later.
So true. But okay, here's what I wanted to point out. Notice how, and this is what they always do, like they always talk about this. And to be honest, I wouldn't even say it's just Gen Z GOP. I think a lot of like normal conservatives do this too often as well, but it's especially the case with people like Gen Z GOP, right? What you notice how they frame this specific political issue, right? It's like, look at how long he basically spent kind of trying to apologize and clarify and add nuance to his viewpoint. Right? Do you notice that? Do you notice how long he's like, the whole thing was like one big long disclaimer, right? I'm sure they talked about gun policy a little bit after that, but it's like, it's like, yeah, I'm a Second Amendment absolutist, but it's not to say I don't support gun control and this and that. And it's like, but what I'm really saying is not this. Let me be clear, not about this, right? So, and let me just point this out. So, they say, and I tweeted this out too. I think I put this very, 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 very well. I responded to this in the tweet. I said, Gen Z GOP seems to think that apologizing and putting limiting statements with nuance in front of everything will change minds, right? And to be fair, they're not the only people that do this. Conservatives do this too often. It's like, I'm not racist, but I'm not racist. And I believe Black Lives Matter, this and that, just as an example. I think we do this on basically every issue. I'm not against feminism, but this is not real. Like we put these limiting, clarifying statements and that basically cuck the point we're trying to make in front of everything, right? And what did I say? It says it doesn't. It's not effective. It just shows that you stand for nothing, and it's not effective. You won't. And then listen to this. You won't convince anyone if you're not confident in your beliefs. That's the thing. And this is very important. Okay, I think this is like this is a very solid take I made. I think is that people are not convinced or moved by nuanced quote-unquote takes. Soft rhetoric is not effective rhetoric. People are convinced by confident people who take leadership and strength and take ownership of their positions. People follow leaders who appear confident. I think that's what people need to understand, right? And that's not to say like I'm never guilty. Of course, I sometimes put limiting statements on stuff. I think we all do. But I think conservatives do it way too much, right? We spend way too much time like trying to clarify what we mean and basically give a compromise, basically a concession, right? That's what it's kind of called, an argument, where it's like, yeah, we agree on this, and listen, I'm not saying this, but I am saying this, right? What people think that this is effective because it adds nuance to our takes and it'll be effective at appealing to the left. Let me say that this is not effective. And the reason why it's not effective, and I said in this tweet, it's true, is that there's no confidence to an opinion like that, right? If you're spending so much time adding this nuance and adding this clarification and all these limiting statements to what you believe, if you're doing it with every single thing you say, especially, it doesn't display that you're a centrist or whatever. All it displays is that you're not confident in your beliefs. Because if you were confident in your beliefs, you wouldn't need to add all these limiting statements to this and that. You would just come out and just say, this is what I believe. Not, oh, but I this and that, but this is what I kind of believe. This is what I believe. What that does is it projects confidence. It projects strength. People follow strong leadership. People are attracted in rhetoric to confidence and confident rhetoric. Okay, that's what people need to understand. And so, if you have a person out here very confident in what he's saying, he's out here saying this stuff, fire and fury. He's like, yeah, I'm saying this. This is what I mean. I'm not apologizing for it, right? What that says is that, hey, this person is confident in what they believe. This person seems to very strongly believe that what they believe and what they're pushing for is true and is the case. Clearly, they're very grounded in what they believe. I'm going to follow this person because this person is confident, right? And this is not just something that's in politics. Let this be advice for you in life in general. If you display confidence, if you display strength, right, people are more likely to follow you. People are more likely to take you seriously. When you spend so much time like this on every single take, it's just, oh, I'm a centrist, this and that, oh, look, adding nuance to your takes are not strengthened. Your opinions are not strengthened. The case you're making is being weakened by the fact that you literally are just wasting all this time. All you're showing is that you're not confident in your opinions. All you're showing is that you're scared about what the left is going to say, right? You're just scared about that. You're like, I'm going to clarify this so that way the left doesn't get as, which they're going to get mad at you anyway, but I'm going to clarify this and all that so that the left doesn't get as mad as me. That shows that you're scared of the left. You're scared of what the left is going to say. And because of that, it is very hard to take you seriously, take your opinions seriously. If you want your opinions to be taken seriously, you must be confident in them. Okay, so that's something I did want to point out. Okay, I think it's very important, and I think it is one of the big problems with woke conservatism, right? As you guys all know, and maybe I should have mentioned this in the woke conservatism video. I honestly didn't mention it. I wasn't even thinking about it at the time, but it is a very important point that I think we need to be making, because when conservatism goes woke, this is basically what we do. We try to like, hey, we're not saying this, we're not saying that. Woke conservatives will continuously add all these limiting statements to everything. And that does not strengthen our cause. It does not make our cause more appealing. It makes it less appealing because it appears weak. It is not projected from a position of strength. It is projected from this cucked position of weakness, okay? Anyways, with that being said, as we wrap up our discussion of Gen Z GOP, let's just go over, okay, this is a great Twitter account. Gen Z GOP posting their L's. It's so true. We love to see it. And it's very funny. They have almost as many followers as Gen Z GOP itself, okay? Joined March 2021, already have 4,000 followers. You love to see it. But let's take a look at like the type of some of these people. Okay, so and I'm gonna scroll down because I think I remember seeing some of this stuff. But let's see. Let's give you an idea of like I think the great thing that Gen Z GOP does is Gen Z GOP L's does. Sorry, I should say. Really exposes to the type of people that actually run this organization. Okay, so this is Caitlin Reynolds. She's this girl right here, I believe. I think that's Caitlin. Actually, I don't even know because it's a group picture. I think it's this girl, right? That's Caitlin Reynolds. But this is the operations director for Gen Z GOP organization, GU21. What is that? Georgetown. Good thing I didn't go to. True story. I got accepted to Georgetown. I actually was considering going, but it was just way too expensive. I just couldn't do it because, at the time, random personal story. I know Georgetown is cringe, but I was kind of thinking at the time, I was like, I could make a lot of good connections in DC if I'm going to school there. Right. So that was kind of my thinking. I didn't end up going. Thank God. It's called where, and really COVID totally turned me off. Like everything that happened in 2020, I was like, okay, never mind. We're not going to DC. Anyways, let's see. Caitlin Reynolds, Gen Z GOP operations director, says she liked this tweet from a they/them account saying bitches really be like, oh my God, having pretty privilege is great, but they don't even be pretty, they just be white. A far left social cultural take. What is Gen Z GOP doing? Literally liking these tweets. Oh, all right. Let's continue here. Let's continue to take a look at this. Let me actually go down a lot of their early tweets because I think these were among some of the best. And this is so true. In fairness, because they are based out of DC, all their members are in like DC. It looks like. In fairness, Gen Z GOP is a totally cringe psyop that provides workfare jobs, quote unquote, for failed early 20s congressional staff wannabes. That's just so true because that's basically who all these kids are, right? Failed early 20s congressional staff wannabes. So true. I mean, it's just undeniably true. Wow. All right, so someone in the Gen Z GOP. This is Sam. So I think that's the immigrant guy, right, from Africa or wherever he was from. Someone says Gen Z GOP is just a gay orgy party, and this guy, okay, who works for Gen Z GOP, his response is not to deny it, not to deflect back. No, you're gay, bro. No, he literally acknowledges it and it says, "God, I wish," with two salivating. Yeah, all right. So that's who we're talking about here. All right. So just to give you an idea of like what this organization stands for. Again, let me be clear. It's easy to mock these guys right now, but if conservatism does not right the course, does not actually stop the slippery slope, not even necessarily of the rest of society, but let's at least start with the slippery slope culturally within our own movement. This is where we're headed. We're headed to stuff like this. Right, gay marriage is not just 1,000% compatible with conservatism, and then of course, I think to add nuance, quote unquote, they try to take the small government take. Believe it or not, you can be gay and believe in the strength of tradition. You can be gay and support gay marriage, but believe in the strength of tradition. So you can believe in the strength of tradition, but literally think that the majority opinion of America, as late as like 2004 and really even up to 2008, that is not tradition, right? That's crazy radical alt-right. But you can believe, but you can still believe in tradition, right? No, you can't. If it's a social take that literally is like only really reversed itself within the last 10 years, and you think it's like a alt-right radical idea to have that take, you don't believe in tradition. I mean, you literally don't believe in tradition. But no cap, but for about like a week during the summer, I actually believed in ACAB. There you go. You have another. I mean, how can these guys even call themselves remotely even like a right wing? I mean, these guys are straight up liberals. A week during the summer, he's straight up agreeing in ACAB. All caps are bad. All cops are bad. A slogan of the far left. Here you go. Another Gen Z GOP staffer. Beyond burgers, greater than beef burgers. Of course, we have a vegan. Of course, they're vegans. Veganism, the future of the Republican Party, right there. Veganism, and of course, we already showed you this. Gabrielle literally worked for Hillary Clinton's campaign. But I mean, let's be totally honest here. I think this is controlled opposition. These people are leftists. These people are leftists who are paid off by someone. Okay, let me be clear for legal purposes, okay, before Bill Kristol tries to sue me. In my opinion, it seems to me like these guys are straight up like paid controlled opposition, okay? It seems to me like that is the case, all right? It seems to me like that is the case. But anyways, I got a super chat. The right needs to stop focusing on Southern charm. We kill on that already. We need to start focusing on winning stubborn cities by being stubborn. I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but it's actually not cities that I think we need to win. It's like it's well, kind of to an extent, but it's actually more. We have to reverse the suburban trends, right? That's number one. But I would also say like towns, like not cities but towns. Those are places. A lot of places we're not maxed out in, but I think we need to max out in. Matt Gagnon said I paid over 300 lol. Well, dude, okay, let me give you an advice. If you're going to send a very big super chat, don't send it when I'm not looking at the screen. Melissa, did I get a big super chat? Did I? Hopefully I did not miss it. Hopefully he's not even talking about that, but let us continue to examine their L's, okay? All right. What is I think the L's account just posted the vaccine video. That's hilarious. We love to see it. Truly, we love what I'm an AOC. This Sam guy, dude. The Sam guy. Q card Sam. We call him a little Q card Sam. I'm an AOC Republican. Okay, buddy. All right. I don't even think that has to be commented on. He's an AOC Republican who supports ACAB, and supports gay orgies in his opinion. But this is the future of the Republican Party right now. Young trans. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, if we do not right course, this is the future of our movement right here. Trans American. You have Ronald Reagan behind the trans flag. Okay. Because I'm sure, of course, Ronald Reagan would have been a huge fan of that, right? And like, I'm not even a Reagan fan, but honestly, this was not even something he would have been a fan of. But all right, young trans woman with some hot neocon takes. I'm telling you, this is where the movement is headed. Okay, if you do not right course, if you do not right the ship, of course, a contributor for Gen Z GOP and an Episcopalian as well. Yeah, many such cases. Okay, but contributor for Gen Z GOP, hot neocon takes. Like, I'm telling you, this is where your movement is headed. This is the future of your movement if you not take control of it. But let me scroll down. I'm getting distracted. This is not even what I really wanted to show, but this is absolutely true. So again, this is Gabrielle. This is like the main girl that you see in everything. The girl with the physiognomy eyes with like the lack of soul inside, right? So this is her responding to the fact that she literally worked for Hillary Clinton in 2016. Volunteer is a strong word, but yes. So she says, I was 16 and turning 17. Okay, but her defense is what? My views have entirely changed since then, and I've campaigned for several Republicans ever since. Take a look at this, though. And this is from a news article, I presume. Gabrielle is a moderate Republican who, look at this, voted for Joe Biden. Okay. So voted for Joe Biden, but has been increasingly frustrated by this administration's policies and priorities. Actually, as a matter of fact, let me just say that could also go on the Biden voters posting their own L's account too. That could go on there too. But you got a moderate Republican over here who literally voted for Biden and claims that her views have changed. No, your views have not changed. You're literally the same exact person, still voting for the same candidates, poorly deciding to admit that you're still voting for the same candidates, but basically working with this Bill Kristol funded PSYOP to do this. Okay. Let's see. What is this? Good evening. I don't know. What L is this? All right. It's called He Does a Little Bit of Fedora. It's very funny because the 1920s would hate people like this. It's just true. But all right, take a look at this. Now we're getting to the part where I really wanted to show. This is what I really wanted to show you guys. All right. So Alexandria Chun, who does work for Gen Z GOP, I don't know exactly her role, but it says, it's 3:11 a.m. and I'm writing a final paper on prostitution. And then we got Caitlin Reynolds, who we did show earlier, who says, can I be your case study? Yeah. Conservatism right here, you guys. This is just the future of the party right here, right? Can I be your case study? Yeah. Yeah, all right. That's who we're talking about here, okay? What is this? Let's take a look at this. We got Gabrielle again. All right. Literally the person who basically runs this PSYOP. I consider myself a conservative. I consider myself Republican. So you consider yourself a conservative. You vote for the most far left presidential candidate that was a nominee for the Democrats in history. You consider yourself a Republican because even though you vote for Democrats, but let's see what the L is right here. What is it? What are we looking at? Yeah, of course. We got the left-wing computer stickers, but you consider yourself a conservative. Of course you do. Here we go. Joe Biden. I like Joe a lot. We don't see eye to eye on everything, but I know he'd do a decent job as president. So this is essentially what it is. The future of the Republican Party is voting for Joe Biden and basically being Joe Biden. We're a bunch of Joe Biden Republicans, Lincoln Project, Joe Biden shill Republicans. That's the future of our party. Okay. All right, buddy. So this person says, honestly, I thought the army ad was cool. Yeah, of course you did. Actually, it was Sam. If Sam thinks the army ad about what was, I think that was the two moms ones, right? Thinks that's cool. That's the future of the Republican Party right here. Literally got ratioed. They get out here getting ratioed by their L's account. That is so funny. But yeah. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. But these are the type of people who are let's be clear, these are the type of people who are running this organization, right? Very sad. Very, very sad. I think this is basically repetitive by now. Oh, hold on, my camera died. My bad. Let me actually switch out. I gotta switch out the battery. So in the let me go get it actually. But let me switch over to webcam right now. But yeah, I'm telling you, like, you're gonna laugh. Like, I'm assuming a lot of we just had a good laugh tonight, right? We're just mocking a very stupid organization ran by liberals. Let me also say, while it is basically a psyop for now, that is where they are genuinely trying to push the future of our party. And this is like I keep saying, this is the party we're headed towards if we don't get it together. You know what I mean? Shane Kina says, what I mean is to build resilient power structures. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Let's see. Anyways, let me go get let me go switch out the camera battery and I'll be right back. I'm actually kind of hungry. Should I get food on stream again? Remember when he did that last time? I just casually went dinner mode on stream. I'm telling you. Whenever I stream, my eating schedule, it's called we do a little bit of eating. My eating schedule is just off. Like I don't know. I haven't even eaten lunch. I don't even think I even ate lunch today. I ate like one meal around like 11 o'clock, which I guess counts as breakfast / lunch, like brunch. I'm not eating since then, so maybe we should go food mode. Maybe I should get some food, or we could just end the stream, and I could get food because I've basically said all I felt that I had to say, but or we could continue the stream. And I could just go get food real quick. But while I wait, let me actually switch out this camera battery over here. All right. It's called we do a little bit of switching camera battery out. So true. But let me just say, final message here to Gen Z GOP. Again, like Bryson says, you will never beat the left by trying to be the left. That's so true. Let me actually go deeper on that and say that, okay, first of all, I don't think winning Gen Z necessarily should be our top priority, okay? Here's the reality is that... Oh, wait, sorry. My mic fell down. I didn't even notice that. But the reality is that in order to, like, when it comes to young people, right? Young people, when they're younger, and this is just how young people are going to be liberal basically regardless, right? And so the youth vote, you're never going to win the youth vote. Republicans will never win the youth vote. Conservatives won't, because it's just an inherently natural thing. Wherever the Overton window is, usually young people are more liberal, right? They're more liberal kind of leaning. And I suppose there are a few exceptions to that, in American history. Generally speaking, that is the case. Okay. Really, the concern I would say, and a big reason I would say I think our politics is shifting so far to the left is because when you look at a generation like the millennials, right, usually this is the natural political evolution of people, right? Usually it's like you start off, you're young, you're naive, you're in college, you live a liberal lifestyle, you're screwing around a lot, right? And so you have more liberal politics. But usually when people, settle down, when they basically become adults, when they get married and have kids, usually that's what brings out the conservative in people. Usually that's kind of the point where people kind of become conservative, right? And when you start your family, that's kind of when it is. Now, a big reason I would say the politics has shifted so far to the left is because the generations over the years have been delaying that point. And I think this is on purpose. I think it's intentional, where they really settle into true adulthood, right? That's what the system wants from you. Why do you think, Democrats are trying to extend education? They're big now on sending as many people to college as possible and putting people in grad school for all these years and don't have kids and all this stuff. And obviously a lot of the corporations are along with it too, because they don't want families, right? Because that makes less loyal employees. But essentially, and I would say that's a big reason why you just see that number gets pushed back, right? It used to be like by the time you were 25, if you were not married with kids, you were weird, right? You were actually exception. Now it's like if you're 25 and married with kids and are married with kids, you're weird. You're the weird one. You're like, why'd you have it so young, right? They're trying to push that back. They keep pushing back that number. You look at the millennials. Here's a generation where a lot of them are now like in their 30s, still not married, still don't have kids, and many of them are probably going to just live single for the rest of their lives, right? And generally, like I mentioned earlier, that's what drives liberal politics. And so ultimately, that is to say, you are never going to win the youth while they're still living like children, right? What you have to do in order to win over young people is to make them into adults. And by adults, I don't just mean people who are 18 years old and have their own legal, I mean like people who are true adults, like they're married and they have kids. That's what you need to speed up, right? Because that's kind of the point where people are born into conservatives. So the main priority, I would say, should not even be to primarily reach out directly to Gen Z. By the way, if you are going to reach out to Gen Z, I would say the way to do it is go after the Zoomer boys, right? The disaffected young men, I suppose. And that's a word that a lot of people use in a negative context. I'm here to use it in a positive context because I genuinely do believe the boys, okay? The boys have been trampled on by this system, okay? We are the first generation of boys that truly did not grow up normal. Like we were the ones who have been abused by the system. We've been fed porn and vaping and all this nonsense, all the sexual revolution nonsense. And in the words of a meme that honestly is very popular with a lot of Zoomer boys, not just conservatives, it's how does the meme go? I do not wish to be horny anymore. I just wish to be happy, right? Like those types of Zoomer boys who are disaffected with the system, have been abused by the system. You really play into that. You play into their masculinity. You kind of help them like embrace their masculinity instead of just telling boys not to be boys. You know what I mean? I would say if we are the party who actually says to like college age and like 20-year-olds, like, no, we are the party of letting boys be boys, right? We are the party of that chaotic Zoomer energy. That's probably honestly the most effective way to win a share of the youth vote, is actually to go after the boys specifically. The girls are a lost cause, okay? Let's just hope when they become moms and wives, they'll kind of fall in line. But the girls of our generation are just, they're just the worst, okay? But the boys, all right? For the boys, all right? We get the endorsements of Barstool and Old Row and all these groups. Old Row's pretty based, by the way. Let me just say, they have people that work for them that are quite based. If we kind of exploit that young male culture and that young male energy, I would honestly say that's how you win the youth vote. And you certainly don't do that with this low energy, dull, soulless, whatever this is, okay? You do that with a high energy party, okay? Honestly, you do that with like Trump energy, okay? That's honestly how you win like frat boy culture and like Zoomer, the boys culture, disaffected young men. That's the Gen Z that we need to be going after. And that genuinely, I think in many ways is the Gen Z. Like that's what people need to understand. When conservatives and stuff say that like, that like the Zoomers are the generation that's going to save everything, like that's specifically who we're referring to. It's like we're those the boys specifically of this generation have been so abused and they really grown up in the system, and that's why so many of them get it, right? That's why like the Zoomers are the people who are really leading, paleoconservatism, America First, national populism. Like it's all kind of Zoomer led. We're the ones kind of leading the charge on it. It's because we grew up in the end result of neoliberalism. We grew up in we were the first generation to truly grow up in like globalist neoliberal America. And because of that, we are the ones who get it. We're the ones who understand it. And it's like, I think it's our generation of conservatives that really is the last stand. I think if we screw it up, we're screwed. Our movement's done. But I think we have great potential, and we really do get it. We have great potential to actually save it. But that's who we should be going after. That is the Gen Z GOP, or I don't even want to say GOP. I'll say the Zoomer conservative movement. That's who we are, okay? And that's what we should be seeking to expand, really, So, anyways, well, what I will do is I'm going to go get some food. I need to go dinner mode. So I'll go downstairs. I'm going to get some food real quick. And I'll be right back. And then we'll wrap up the stream for like 30 more minutes or so. But we'll read chats and stuff. We'll do our nightly tradition of reading chats. But anyways, while I go get my food, while I go dinner mode, I don't know, I probably want something to like play on screen, right? That's probably a good idea. So that way you guys aren't like watching nothing. So the question is, what should we play on screen? I don't know. Let's just go to YouTube and find something. Or I guess I'll take the chat for suggestions. I don't know what they think. Dixieland, that's probably copyrighted. I'm not going to play music because I might want to monetize this replay. So no music. Okay, no music unless it's explicitly not copyrighted. Actually, here's something I did want to take a look at. I wasn't going to do a reaction video on this. I just don't think it's worth my time. But remember a few weeks ago, it was only like a week ago, we did that video regarding the Hodge twins, right? It wasn't actually regarding the Hodge twins. It was about something totally different, right? But at the end of the stream, we basically discovered the Hodge twins Juneteenth video. So someone sent me this. Actually, I think it was Rep that sent me this and was like you should take a look at what they're saying now. I haven't watched this video, but so let's take a look at what they're honestly saying. They've had some very just cringe blue-tilled, actually just all the time. They just have these cringe takes on like racial issues. Anyways, we'll play this. We're not going to watch the video when I come back, but you guys can take a look at what they're saying. I don't know what they've said, but I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get food. And you guys can take a look at this. You can see let's see what they're up to. Okay.
Yeah. Got a new show for y'all. Got a damn good show. Yeah. Before we start the show, remember everybody, you can always support the twins at officialhodgetwins.com. Pick you out a patriotic t-shirt, maybe a hat, maybe a white privilege card. Maybe some berry products. Use discount code Chinese Virus. Me and my twin here, we're going to give you 20% off your purchase. And we got some new shows. Yeah, we're going to Texas. We're going to Texas, San Antonio.
Yeah, those shows are already up on our website, HodgeTwinsTour.com, but we're also going to several cities in Indiana. We're going to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And
Get to it. Come on, man. Speed
we're
this
going
up.
to Bakersfield and Visalia, California. More shows coming. All right, but anyway, we're going to talk about the 120 Republicans that voted against the removal of the Confederate statues. I mean, I had no idea Republicans love Democrat Confederate soldier statues so much. Maybe we should start selling bobblehead Robert E. Lee's online. Y'all like them that much? We can sell them for $19.99.
Yeah, Confederate 19. Yeah, the Confederate.
No, sell them for $17.76.
Yeah, to break things down in the common sense, Confederate is just a euphemism for white supremacists.
Yeah,
they are one in the same.
They actually fought to divide this country. It wouldn't be a United States of America if they won.
They were anti-American.
Yeah, they were very anti-American. They wanted to split away and have their black people as slaves.
Yeah, they didn't see black people as equal. That was the Confederacy.
Yeah. That's the statues that's up and that people are like so pissed off about.
Yeah. Personally, I don't give a shit about the statues.
I don't either.
I can see why a black person would be offended because I'm black. So this diversity that me and my twin is bringing to the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Y'all can learn from a little diversity.
Yeah, y'all could.
Us being black, y'all can learn from us.
Yeah, it's like
black people ain't down with them damn Confederate statues.
Let me put it to you like this. Again, we don't give a shit about statues. Now, understand that argument that I always hear about keeping them up, saying you're deleting history. Look, you're not deleting history.
Yeah.
Put them in the history books. Teach them in high school. The some bitches don't need a statue.
Yeah, they don't need a high school or a street named after them. I mean, can I go to Germany and go to Hitler High? Hell no. It's the same exact thing. I mean, you're almost, it's like when I'm looking at these statues, man, it's almost like you're glorifying these damn people. And I can understand why people could be offended.
Okay, so
especially if you're black or minority.
Yeah. So, like Charlottesville, why did that happen?
Yeah.
They was going to I guess they was going to actually take the statue down of Robert E. Lee, right?
Yeah.
And the Klan showed up. I mean, the Klan showed up. I mean, they got the Confederate flags. I mean,
they there for a reason. Y'all about to take down their heroes.
Yeah, that's their heroes. That's why they're so pissed off that's why they showed up.
Yeah.
I mean, these Confederate statues are like gods to them.
All right,
that's why they're there. I mean, I understand giving them a statue, but y'all even put them on a fucking horse.
All right, I'm back. Let's see what's going on here. We're not going to watch the rest of this video, by the way. It's just not worth our time. But to someone tell me, because I was downstairs. What are the contents essentially of this video? Can someone let me know? I honestly want to see that, but yeah, I've returned, boys. Food mode imminent. Food mode complete. So true. Anyways, I'm trying to think if I had anything like else important to say or talk about, because this is probably going to be my last stream for like probably at least a week, maybe even more than that, because I'm going to be traveling like all of next week, basically. I'm going to Vegas like twice for different reasons. And then I'll be in Dallas for, if you guys are going to that CPAC event in Dallas, that's like next weekend. I don't know if I'll actually go inside the event. I didn't even buy a ticket to the event, but I will be in town that week. So let me know if you are, or if you live in Dallas. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I just want an excuse because, you know, go hang out with John and Elijah and all the homies. But I will be there. So guys our age are just as socially degenerate as the females, so hard pass on winning them. I mean, to an extent, yeah, it is true. But hold on. There is something I would say that's inherently based to like frat boy culture. You know what I mean? There's just something about it, right? So I think that like, I don't know what it is. I'm trying to think of like a way to like frame this or describe this, but it's like there are some forms of like what I guess you would call base degeneracy, like not on the fact that degeneracy is base, but like in the way that like there's certain types of degenerates that actually would like lean towards like more conservative politics. You know what I mean? So, but I would say like if we like the way you kind of do it is the frame it as an issue of masculinity. Right. I think that's why a lot of like frat boys and stuff kind of do like Trump, because he's kind of the symbol of like masculinity and like patriotism and strength. You know what I mean? Kind of play into that. You could pull off something. It's called frat boy conservative. It's so true. It's called, we do a little bit of frat boy conservatism, you know, like there's just something like, I don't even care. Like, yeah, it is kind of degenerate in a way, right? It is, but it's also like just based in like a way. It's just hard to describe, you know, it's just something that is kind of like masculine about it. You know what I mean? So, let's go. Jeff Davis show when? I don't know, bro. Just start the Jeff Davis show. Let's go. I'll subscribe. I'll subscribe to Jeff Davis's channel. So true. Anyways, let's I guess we'll just read the chat for the last 20 minutes or so. I don't really have much more to say. But oh wait, hold on. I got a super chat. All right, Balbo Bigans. Am I saying your name right? I hope I'm saying your name right. It says, "Hey Vince, I have a question. I want some advice. I'm going off the internet for 2 weeks and want to know if you suggest anything. So true about the boys. That is why I'm here." Absolutely. I appreciate it, man. So going off the internet. So want to know if you suggest anything. So you basically, yeah, you just don't want to, you know, go on the internet a lot. Yeah, I would say then like go outside as much as possible, right? Because I mean, you could you could just like play video games, and I guess that doesn't count as going on the internet. But like, I wouldn't suggest that. Don't. It's kind of like it's a little bit of at least a change in pace, but I wouldn't say it's like the greatest thing to be doing. It's like, I would say, yeah, go outside. You know, hang out with friends if they're not available. Go on a hike. Go to nature or something. You know, but I would say if you're gonna take 2 weeks off the internet, which is something I could never do, because it's like this is what I do. I do like political commentary, and I just don't take days off. It's just so true. But if I were, right, I think that's what you got to do. You got to maximize your time off the internet. So like really take advantage of it. Really do things that like require you to be outdoors, I would say, you know. Sunning your balls increases the testosterone by 200%. So true. If you will understand this. That's a joke. I don't know if it does. Hold on. Let me put this down. I'm going to be at a Boy Scout camp for the next week, based. I never did the Boy Scouts. I kind of wish my mom made me, though, because I feel like it would have taught me a lot of like good skills, but I never did. I did play a lot of sports, though. So Jeff Davis, you should come on the Carter Shaw show. You should. I would love to see that collab. Let's go. There's no such thing as an indoor mammoth. So true. So true. Vince's Korean friend during the stream, you want to hang out on my rooftop. That's probably what he was calling about. That's unironically probably what he was calling about. Damn. I just knocked this into myself. I know I'm thinking, because I'm going to be in Dallas, right? I'll probably be staying at Elijah Schaefer's or John Doyle's place. I don't know, one of theirs. I want to like go into John Doyle's studio and like just like without his permission, I just like record a video in there. I feel like that'd just be so funny. And I'll even like put his watermark in the corner. It'd be funny. I think it'd be funny if I just didn't say anything. I just did the video, like just from his studio, and then like just never said anything. That'd actually be pretty epic. 3 Gen Z GOP disliked your vids. It's not based at all. We need to counter that ratio. Go do it right now. Upload. Wait, what? No way. Upload John right now. Upload now. Oh wait. I think you're telling him to upload, not that he uploaded. I highly doubt that he uploaded because he said the Pride Month. Okay, here's the thing about John. He says the Pride Month video. He's saying he hypes up this Pride Month video. Right? It's about Pride Month. It's July. Okay, if you're gonna make a video about Pride Month, you have to post it on Pride Month. How can you make a video about Pride Month that's not posted? It doesn't make sense, John. Yeah. He said he's going to post it Friday, so I would expect it to be out by about November. That seems like a good timeline to me. Sam Madsen says, frat boy culture is cringe. We can have nothing to do with hookups and endless drinking and smoking weed. That crap has to be eliminated. Well, that's the thing. Is that I think if we really take a stake, by the way, I don't think that's all there is to frat boy culture. I think there's also a lot of like male friendship and like, dominion in that sense, and just liking sports and all that stuff. Right. But I would also say that I think if conservatives really like force their hand in frat boy culture, we can actually push back on stuff like that. Actually, that's something John was talking about doing. Like he wants, that's what he wanted to do with that Locker Room Talk podcast that I don't know if he's actually going to start, but he was talking about that. He's like, I want to basically get into like that kind of frat boy culture and promote like better behaviors and kind of a better thing to kind of idolize and look up to and make part of your life as well. But I think that's a culture that we could also kind of just inherently change as well, but still I would say like, I would say of all the youth, it's still like the best culture to go out after in a way, Frat boy culture when me and the boys are together. So true. Thoughts on Jesse Lee Peterson? I like Jesse Lee. He it's really funny because I don't want to say Jesse sounds stupid, like, but the way he talks sounds kind of like not uneducated, right? But the actual I saw at first when I saw him, I was like, who is this guy? Like, this guy's just like what? But I actually started listening to what his takes, and I was like, this is actually a really smart guy. You know what I mean? Like he is actually a very intelligent person with very intelligent things to say. It's just so true. It's very funny. It's kind of deceiving because when you first listen to him, the way he talks, it's just like, well, who is this guy? Jesse Lee is like unironically a genius, very intelligent guy. So. Vince, you should get Jesse Lee Peterson's show. One day. I don't think I'm big enough right now, but I would go on. I would absolutely go on if I were ever invited. So true. So Vince isn't based enough for JLP. One day. Okay, one day we will make it on there. Jesse Lee's the greatest roaster of all time. So true. You arrived 2 minutes late and you are telling me that you are not Hispanic. I don't know. Is it a Hispanic stereotype to show up late? I know it's a black stereotype. It's also a Vietnamese stereotype, by the way, too. And that's a more obscure one because I'm Vietnamese. But it is true. Like we always show up to things late. Like it is true. Is it a Hispanic? I didn't know it was a Hispanic stereotype to be late. So. But it's like, that's like the stereotype is that like, block parties and stuff always start like super late. Same thing with Vietnamese though. Like we always show up to things like 2 hours after it starts. So we literally start like, it's so funny. Every family gathering, it's like we start stuff late. And then the funny thing is a lot of times we'll end early as well. It's like sometimes I look at like my relatives. I'm like, man, you guys really just don't want to be around each other, do you? Because it's like, okay, you say it's gonna start at 6. You show up at like 7, and then it ends at 9, and you leave at like 8. You're like, oh, got time to go. Okay, the kid had to. That's the wrong accent. Hold on, give me an Asian accent. The kid had to. Yeah, okay. Is that right? Sorry, my accent. I'm like fried right now. My accents are screwing up. It's like, oh, my kid has to go to sleep. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, your bed. I know for a fact your kid's bedtime is not 8 o'clock. Okay, get out of here with that. It's Christmas Eve. All right, it's Christmas Eve. Oh, your kid's going to bed at 8 o'clock. Bullshit. No, they're not. No, they're not. It's just not true. It's just not true. You're 3/4 Vietnamese and 1/4 Italian mafia. I am. So. Anyways, let me actually, should I close out this tab or should I just leave it here? Could just leave it here. Why is there's how you guys notice? Someone says anyone notices recommendations. I don't watch, I barely ever watch. The only Fox videos I actually watch is like if it's Tucker. Like I watch that sometimes on YouTube, but like this is not, that is weird. It's honestly really weird. That just tells you a lot about the algorithms, right? Because the conservative channels I watch the most, let me just say, are not Fox News, right? That's not the conservative YouTube channel I watch nearly the most, nor is it Ben Shapiro, right? Like I watch that sometimes. Like I barely watch it at all anymore. But like Fox, I barely ever watch Fox. And actually, this is a good show of right-wing algorithms, right? How we get treated. See, YouTube is perfectly fine with establishment corporate media. Because look at my recommended. It's all Fox, right? Here's Brandon. Okay, Brandon Tatum got in once. You know, okay, fine. You know, actually got in twice, which is also weird because I barely watch his video. I mean, I'm subscribed to him, which to be fair, but I don't watch his videos that often either. But okay, Brandon Tatum. You know, you got a Steven Crowder in here, but like not a lot of Fox. You got Blood Upon the Risers because I just listen to that very often. So true. And honestly, not a lot of like I don't watch these channels that often. There's this because I was studying for my driving test. Okay, so that's actually something I watch or have been watching, you know. But you see what I'm saying? Oh, there's my own stream. Let's go. My own stream finally made it at the very bottom. Let's go. Based YouTube. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and let me just say that the actual, like, I'm yet to see one of the type of YouTube videos that I actually do watch on YouTube. Okay, the type of conservative content that I do watch on YouTube. I'm yet to actually see it in here. Like really see a representation of it. Well, it's called we do a little bit of censorship, right? It's called they do a little bit of censorship. Okay, now we're getting to like gun videos. I do watch that, so fine. But like in terms of conservative media, like, do you see what I'm talking about? Like it is so hard to be a small time conservative YouTuber because look at this recommended. You know, it's all Fox. It's all like corporate media. That's all YouTube wants to promote. You know, and they've even said this. This is not like this is not me like accusing shadow banning or whatever. They have said this. They've openly come out and said that like we're only going to promote like, you know, corporate establishment media. That's essentially what they said in order to like counter disinformation or whatever. You know what I mean? Have you heard about Milo Yiannopoulos converting to Christianity and giving up homosexuality? I have heard it. Well, he's been like in name a Catholic for a while, but yeah, I did hear about him. Leaving homosexuality. Hopefully he's honest. You know, if he is, I think that's great. So. Have you ever been to Lassen County, California? It is the most based county in your state. I don't know. I might have. What's in Lassen County? Like, what's like the city there? If you give me reference to that, I could probably. I probably would know. Actually, let me just look it up. Lassen County, California. Lassen County, California. What county is this? Let me see. Where is this? What is it known for? Volcanic National. Okay, I don't think I've ever been here. No, let me see where geographically it is. Unless is Tahoe in there? If Tahoe, I don't even know exactly where Tahoe is. I just know it's a far place we drive up to every year. But if Tahoe is there, then I have been there. If not, then I've never been there. Because I do go. We used to go to Tahoe when I was little, but that was far before I even thought about the politics of California, to be honest. Knowles defended Nuentes. It's so funny. We call him Fic Nuentes. I'm pretty sure you're allowed to say his name on YouTube too. It's just kind of become a thing. But yeah, I did not see that, but I will actually go take a look at that. That's curious to me. Anyone or at the Vince Dow read Michael Knowles' Speechless? I've not read it, but I've heard it's actually like a solid book. You know what I mean? Like I heard that because obviously the cover seems something like so generic that the conservatives would put out. But I've heard it's a good book. I might actually go take a look at it. Knowles and Knowles. I like Knowles and Walsh. You know, they're not perfect, but they're actually, in terms of ideology, they're actually pretty solid, you know. So it was like 75% Trump. Yo, let's go. Waiting on John and Vince to join Gab. I do have a Gab. I just don't use it. My alt tech is Telegram. Like that's like the alt tech that I use. You know, I don't know. Gab is just hard for me because it doesn't have an app. You know, and I did a poll once of my Instagram followers just to see. I said, how many of you guys actually use Gab? The results of the poll were like literally 99-1. 99 said no. That was the result of the poll. 99% people said they do not use Gab. So I was like, oh, well, screw that. You know, we need more people on it. We definitely need more people on it. We need to take back Twitter. It is true. We do need to take back Twitter. When will John join Gab? John will not join Gab. We've talked about this with him. He does not want to join alt tech because he just has an inner belief that he will get his Twitter account back. He's not. He could just start another one too, but I don't know. I am more likely to cave and make a Gab account than he is. Let me just say that. I have a Gab account, but you know, I don't think I've ever posted on it. Let's see. Opinion on Andrew Klavan. I don't know. I'll be honest. I've really never watched stuff from him, so I don't know. But I will say I'm fairly certain that Knowles and Walsh are the best Daily Wire hosts by far. So, all right, let's see. Do I like sweet tea? I don't. Hot take, I don't. I don't know why people like it so. I don't like the taste of tea, even if it's sweet. Tea literally just tastes like juice that's really watered down. That's what tea tastes like. I don't see why people like drinking it. It's like, okay, if you drink it for the caffeine, sure, that's fine. I mean, I'll drink coffee because I just feel like it hits me better. But if you want to drink tea for the caffeine, sure. I don't understand why people find the taste of tea to be good. It's just not good. Like, why do people like the taste of tea? Even if you add sugar, it still doesn't change the fact that it's tea. The texture is just not good. And it just tastes like watered down juice. Okay, I don't see why like tea is so like, you know, people like tea so much, and tea is British. That's true as well. That is so true. You are objectively wrong. No, I'm not. I'm objectively right. Okay, first of all, aren't you a man? What kind of man drinks tea? Are you what kind? Oh, I'm a man. I'm really masculine. Oh, you drink tea? No, shut up. Shut up, beta. Okay, we all know that real men drink coffee. Okay, coffee is a man's drink. Energy drinks are a boy's drink. This is my tier list. Okay, coffee is a man's drink. Men drink coffee. Boys drink energy drinks, and girls drink tea. Okay, that's how it goes. So, what tier list are you? You know, are you a boy? No, you're not even a boy because you're not even drinking energy drinks. You're a girl. Okay, you're literally a girl. You are a girl, Mr. Orange Horseman. Okay, you're calling the early American colonists betas. The early American colonists literally destroyed tea. Okay, they destroyed it. Oh, what are you gonna say now, huh? What are you gonna say? What, Boston Tea Party? We literally destroyed tea. You're genuinely coping right now. We destroyed tea as like part of a big part of our founding. Okay, don't use that against me. That is just so dishonest. That is just so dishonest. Sweet iced tea is amazing. It is simply not. It is simply not. It's simply not that good. Okay, like give me coffee, put a little bit of milk or half and half in it, a little bit of sugar, not even a lot, just a little bit. Infinitely better than iced tea, than sweet iced tea. Like it's just no such cases. Okay, and like I'm saying the bare minimum coffee too. I'm not even saying like a frappuccino or whatever. I'm just saying black coffee, a little bit of cream, a little bit of sugar, literally tastes better than sweet tea, which is meant to be a dessert. Okay, few will dispute this. Okay, if you dispute this, you're literally just wrong or a woman. It's just so true. It's just so true. So. Man, next thing you know, Dow will be telling me the earth is round. So true. So true. Vince is banned from Dixie. No, deal with it. Okay, deal with it. Okay, first of all, I'm fairly certain that in the Midwest, okay, we're a little bit of Midwestern populism. Coffee is probably more. Actually, sure it is, because it just seems like a Midwestern thing. They just drink their coffee. You gotta have your coffee every morning, right? Dad goes to work in the factory. The wife makes the coffee for him every morning. Based, okay, based. That's how it goes. All right. So we don't care about the opinions of the South. We are coffee nationalists. Okay. All right. Midwestern populism. Let's go. Even though I'm not even from the Midwest. Does that mean the British are cringe? Yes. Sweet tea greater than boba tea. Okay, that is even further just a brain dead take. Like that is just objectively not true. And I'm not even trying to shill for like Asian food or anything. I'm just saying like that is you do not have functioning taste buds if you think that is the case. That is just not the case. No such cases. No such cases. Imagine not being a Southerner. I don't know. Does Florida even count as part of the South? Like it kind of does, technically geographically, but I feel like it's not even really in the South. But I technically will be a Florida man soon. So, do your Italian relatives drink coffee? A bunch of it. Okay, bunch of it. They like every time I go to my grandparents' house, right? So my Italian heritage comes from my grandpa on my dad's side. The guy drinks so much coffee. Okay. I understand he's old too. He needs to stay awake, but it's like there's so much coffee, and it's always the question. Like this is always the question my grandpa will ask: do you want some coffee? Do you need some? You want some coffee? Like I'm making coffee. Do you want some coffee? Every single time I'm at his house, at least at like 3 different points where I'm there, it's always hey, you need some coffee. You want some coffee? My dad always drinks it too. I only need 1 cup a day. That's all I need. Like 1 cup, I'm good. Unless I'm really tired or I need a lot of energy. But usually it actually just gives me a headache. So I just drink 1 cup a day. That's it. But like my grandpa probably drinks like 4 to 5 cups of coffee a day, unironically. Florida is the most southern state. Look, well, I know geographically it's the most southern state. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like culturally, culturally Florida. I mean, they're obviously the northern part of Florida is basically still the South, but culturally Florida is a lot less like southern than the other southern states. I wouldn't say it's like a culturally southern state really. I will not make an optical joke about how Vince Dow makes his coffee. What's wrong with how I make? You don't even know how I make my coffee. That's not true. Okay, that's just not true. Actually, let me wash my hands. I'll be right back. My hands have like chicken grease all over them, so let me be right back. Vince Dow is a member of Gen Z. Bro, you're literally coping. Okay, you drink the caffeinated drink of women, not even boys, of women. Okay. You are coping, Mr. Orange. Literally a cope. Like biggest cope I've ever seen. Oh, yeah, I disavow Winston nationalism. He doesn't like tea. Yeah, you're coping. Okay, coping. Drink coffee like a man. Drink coffee like a man, Mr. Orange Horseman. So true. Let me wash my hands. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Anyways, as I was saying, okay, MFers be like, we need to bring back masculine men, masculinity. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then drinks tea, literally the drink of woman. Wow. Just wow. Just wondering if coffee is manly. What does that? No, see, here's the thing. Starbucks, I would not even consider to be. Now, I don't get me wrong. We love a good Starbucks drink here and there, but Starbucks, I would not say is like real coffee. Okay, when I say coffee, I mean like stuff you make at home. You know what I mean? Like you buy instant coffee or you brew it, right? You buy the brew thing and then you put it in the coffee machine. You pour it out. Usually, okay, it's the traditional masculine. It's just a man's drink. You pour it out before you go to work in this white mug. Maybe you put a little bit of creamer in it if you like. A lot of guys just drink it black. Okay, straight black coffee, like a man. So true. And you just chug it, and you're ready to go work your 9-to-5 job like a man. That's what I say when I mean coffee is for men. That type of coffee, or the type of coffee that like you go to a diner, before, like traditionally, right back in the 60s, you go to your diner before you go to work, you get breakfast there. The waitress in one of those like 1960s, 1950s diners outfits brings you your cup of coffee. They bring you the sugar packets and the creamer. Like, here, you want any? And then the man says no, because I'm a man. I drink that black. Bam. That's what I mean by coffee, okay? Starbucks is a perversion of coffee. They have good drinks, don't get me wrong, but I don't consider Starbucks to be coffee. That's not coffee, okay? Coffee is like is the stuff you buy at the supermarket, ground it up, you put it in the machine, you add water. That's what I mean by coffee is a man's drink. That's a man's drink right there. Not Starbucks and their frappuccinos and whatnot, which are tasty. Don't get me wrong, but to say that's like coffee, I'm sorry, it's just not coffee. I refuse. So. Vince Dow says, wait, how is your last name Dow if your paternal grandfather is Italian? Isn't it supposed to be an Italian? Aha, you've caught on to my tricks. Yeah. Vince Dow, let me just, I will reveal this. This is a secret of mine. Vince Dow is not my full name. My Italian last name is very hard to pronounce. And so when I was going into politics, I was like, this is just bad. Like, if Dow is part of my name, though. That is part of my name. It's not a made-up last name. It is actually a Vietnamese name of mine. But my Italian last name is ridiculously hard to pronounce. Like, no one knows how to pronounce it. Okay, actually, I'll put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat. This is my full name right here. Okay, I will dox my last name. And actually, part of the reason I did that, I didn't use my full name is because I used to think when I started politics, I didn't think anyone used their real name. You know what I mean? Like, I thought, oh, Tucker Carlson, that's not his real name. Sean, but then I actually found out, like, no, actually, those are those people's real names. I was like, okay, too late. I already kind of used a pseudonym, sort of. That's actually my full name. But yeah, I doxed that. Don't go around telling people that. Okay, but yeah, that's my real name. It's not that hard to pronounce. Oh yeah. How do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce that then? Huh? Tell me that. It's not that hard to pronounce, really. Is that why like every single graduation they've always gotten my name wrong? Is it really? It's not that hard to pronounce. Dude, as an Asian, we love to see comments like this. Dude, as an Asian, I am personally offended that you'd be an ethno-nationalist. What? I'm not an ethno-nationalist. What the heck are you talking about? After all the Asian hate caused by right-wing extremists like you, I hope you know how much harm. What? That doesn't even make any sense. Right-wing extremists. Yeah, hold on. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay, but yeah. Let me just say, most of the Asian hate is not being driven by right-wing extremists. Okay, all right. You can look up a photograph of most suspects for yourself if you want to see that. But that doesn't even make any sense. What type of ethno-nationalist would I even be? Well, that doesn't even make any sense. Brain dead comment. Low IQ comment. Clearly lacking the stereotypical Asian IQ, if that's the case. So. All right, it's 8:04, so I gotta go soon. Shoot, but Vince Dow says, do you consider yourself Asian or mixed race? I mean, no, I basically consider myself more. I don't say I'm like fully Asian, but I usually identify more as Asian because I'm not. If I were 50-50, I'd say I was a mixed race, but I'm not 50-50. I'm 75-25. You know, so I like culturally, I'd say I grew up a lot more Asian than Italian. But I kind of do want to like re-embrace my Italian roots because like I watched The Godfather the other day and I was like, this is where your bloodline originates from. Epic. Yo, epic. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should unironically, not even joking. Maybe I should become a Catholic and start driving in Cadillacs. Like that'd be epic. Okay. I already have the hairstyle going kind of. All right. All you got to do is, those are basically the 2 steps. That's all I have to do. So, have I ever visited Italy? No, I've not ever visited Italy. Italians are based. DeSantis is Italian too, so it all comes together. So true, dude. Italians just have like just something epic about Italians. You know, it's just Italians just epic. Being Italian is epic. Vince Dow is the Godfather. Italian mafia boss. Vince Dow. Literally yellow. Is your grandfather Sicilian? Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. So my grandfather was born in America, but his parents were not. I know at least one of them. One of my great grandparents is Sicilian. I don't know if both are. I'm pretty sure both are actually, but I know at least one of them is. So. Italians are just built differently. You see, so true. You know, actually, this is actually what's really funny. I am like the hairiest Asian ever. Like, and that's where the genetics comes in, right? Because most Asians are like hairless, you know, but I like grow hair so fast. Like I have to shave like every single day, or at least, or I start growing a beard. But the thing is, I don't grow like a cool European beard because of the genetic mix. I grow like an Asian beard, you know, that Confucius beard, but I grow it very fast because of my Italian hair genetics. It's not a good combination, you know, because it's like, okay, you grow a lot of body hair and stuff, fine, but it doesn't grow it like evenly because of the Asian genetics. It's like it's just the worst genetic mix with my hair. Not true, not based. We didn't need to know. I'm talking about my facial hair, dude. Okay, I'm literally talking about my facial hair. Vince Dow beard. See, that's the thing, like. I could grow a beard, but it wouldn't be a beard like an Italian. It'd be a beard like a freaking Han Chinese, you know, like with the Confucius thing going on. That's the type of beard I would grow, but I would grow it at like Italian hair growth lengths. It's a weird mix. It's a really weird mix. Thoughts on mammoth hunting nationalism? Endorse. I need a gold chain. Unironically, hey. Actually, this is very funny. So. He's passed away now, so I'm not doxing him. I never even met this guy. My dad did though. My dad and my grandpa all knew him growing up. Had like a great, would you say a great, so the brother of your great grandparents, right? So would that be your great uncle or your great grand uncle? I don't know the word for it, but the brother, my great grandpa's brother. This guy was a little bit sussy. Okay, this guy was a little bit sussy, all right? He never explicitly told my dad he was in the mafia, but he was probably in the mafia, okay? So his job was like he sold auto parts, right? He goes around selling auto parts to different manufacturers, right? You can make some decent money off of that. But this guy was like filthy rich. Okay, this guy had all these houses all over the place. He drove around this Cadillac, all these Rolexes and stuff. And it was always kind of the big question was like, where does this guy get his money from? You know, actually, his name was Vinny too. His name was Vinny. Okay, which is also my name, which is very funny. Okay, we had the same name too. Not saying I'm in the mafia. Okay. But it is to say, well, you know, Antifa, you know, we'll just stay away, okay? Just stay away. Hey, we don't want any trouble, okay? Anyways, What the point I was trying to make was I don't think he drove a Cadillac. He might have driven a Mercedes. No, I think it was a Cadillac though. I don't remember. My dad told the story. Okay, but the point I was kind of bring up is that he used to he had this Rolex, right? I have a gold watch. It's not a Rolex, but he used to drive with like his arm out his Rolex purposely out the window. Like this guy is just he just purposely had to flex like that. He used to always drive like this, like with one hand. Always had to have the Rolex going out, dude. Italians are epic, but yeah, I did have like family members across the way that were definitely in the mafia. I don't know. We don't know if he was. He probably was though. Vinny, same name as me. That's what's so funny. He has my name, and he's like the one great uncle, whatever, that was in the mafia. That's kind of based, actually. That's just low key based. That's kind of epic. I'm not even gonna lie. That's very epic. VinceDao Mafia versus Election Mafia. So true. So true. Does my dad look white or Asian? My dad looks more white. It's a weird mix with my dad. My dad actually looks, well, actually, no, yeah, my dad really does look like Italian, but more like South Italian, right? Like he's a little bit more like brownish, right? I think it's mainly actually because of the Asian mix, but he actually does look more white. So which is weird because he's 50. It's really weird, right? Because usually when white mixes with another race, usually it looks like the other race, right? Usually when like white mixes with black, you can kind of tell the black there, or when whites mix with Asians, they look more Asian. My dad is mixed, right? Half Asian, half white, but he looks white. Like first time is one of the rare occasions where I've seen that. You don't see that often. It's weird. So that just the Italians even have the dominant genes. Okay, the dominant recessive genes is like the Italian genetics are the dominant alleles, dude. Like we love Italians. That's pretty epic. Level 1 crook Gen Z GOP versus level 100 boss VinceDao. So true. So true. Cool uncle story, unironically. Yeah. I should start telling more family stories that are like not like obviously like I try to keep the details of like my parents and stuff private, but like my grandparents, like I don't know who what someone gonna dox them or something. Oh my grandpa fought in the Vietnam War. So let me clarify this though. Okay. It's not okay because I think people are gonna make this assumption that like grandpa basically met his wife like in the rice fields, like he's out here because my grandpa saw a lot of combat too. He wasn't one of those bums. Like he actually fought in the war. He actually like fought in the war. He's just like running around the M16. He shoots all these Viet Congs and like this villager is just like, oh, thank you for saving me. Okay, thank you. And and they just like fall in love. That's not what happened. Okay, that's not how it happened. But that is there's some story like that. So basically, the way my grandpa and my grandma met was actually at a language school, right? Because my grandpa was a patrol boat captain in Vietnam, and so he had to learn Vietnamese because he basically had to be able to talk to the South Vietnamese. So I'm telling my family history now. Isn't that epic? So my grandpa had to go to language school in California for like a year to learn the Vietnamese language. So my grandpa's fluent in Vietnamese, or at least used to be. I don't know if he is anymore. Now my grandma on my dad's side was like, this is kind of bad to say, but she was basically like aristocracy in South Vietnam. Right, she was wealthy in South Vietnam, and so they left before Saigon even fell because they were just scared. If the communists take over, they're very rich, they're very powerful, we're screwed. So they moved to America in like the 60s, not in like most Vietnamese came in the 70s. They came over in the 60s. So my grandma was teaching Vietnamese at that language school, and so that's kind of how my grandpa and my grandma met. My grandma was my grandpa's teacher. Very weird, right? But that's how they met. That's my family story. That's how I became Asian, right? That's how my bloodline became Asian. Yeah. My great grandpa before that fought in World War II. So my Italian side, they're like all like war veterans. It's so epic. But like my grandpa's dad fought in World War II. He was in the army. He was at the Battle of the Bulge. Very epic. So yeah, that's my family history basically. And then my mom's side, my mom's side of the family just came here like in the 80s and they're full Vietnamese. But my dad's side, I think, has a much more interesting history. Which side? I don't know. What do you mean, which side? Was my dad? My dad was born in America. How can my dad be born in Vietnam? That doesn't make sense, dude. I told. Hold on. You're not listening carefully, video maker, because I did. What did I say? I said my grandpa fought in the Vietnam War. My Italian grandpa fought in the Vietnam War. As part of the U.S. military, meets my grandma in California. How could my dad be born in Vietnam? You're not listening carefully, buddy. Okay, it's called we do a little bit of reading comprehension. David Bailey says, I never miss a stream. Very epic. So true. Thank you for the $3. How old was your grandpa when he met your grandma? I think probably like 21 or 22 years old. Young. Because my grandpa went to war at like 20 something. So, yeah. My grandpa is a solid Republican, by the way. It's just so epic, so epic. See, there's like two sides of the boomers, right? On one hand, you have the boomers who were the hippies protesting the Vietnam War, and they're all a bunch of cringe liberals, and they basically gave birth to the modern liberal movement. My grandpa was the opposite of that. Like my grandpa enlisted. He was not even drafted. He enlisted voluntarily, and he never stopped and like complain about it. You know what I mean? So he was epic. My grandpa's one of the few epic boomers, and politically he actually pretty much gets it as well. That's what I like. Like he's not like one of those cringe like normal boomer cons when they kind of just are woke. They kind of like embrace this woke concern. Like that's not him. Like he like gets it. He's epic. Chad, let's go. No, my grandpa is a Chad. It's so true. So true. What type of videos are you planning on making? I'm guessing you mean like when I go out of town. I don't know. I have a video tomorrow. I recorded it a few days ago, but basically it's actually about the war in Afghanistan because it's very interesting. How the Republican, and this is something that's flown under our eyes a lot, but the Republican establishment is basically trying to get us to stay in Afghanistan. So I have a video about that. And then I'll probably make a video. I'll probably make the suburbs video. Remember I kept saying I was going to make a video about the suburbs and basically, the trend of suburbs to the left and how it doesn't have to be. I'll make that video and I'll probably just figure out something else to make. So those will probably be the video when I'm gone. Do more maps. I like electoral. I don't know enough about it though. That's the problem. See, Red Eagle is like the CEO of that. Real American does it as well. I understand electoral politics, I would say, better than like your average political commentator who doesn't know anything. But I don't know if I know it well enough to make like extensive maps like that. I kind of only know the general stuff. When I think of Vince's grandfather, I automatically start thinking of the Godfather theme. So true. So true. Yeah, my grandpa just never got involved with that stuff, but it was around him when he grew up. He does tell us that. So which side was your grandpa's dad during World War II? Oh, I should probably see, people always get confused with that. No, he was on the American side. My grandpa came to America in like the 1920s, late 1910s, 1920s or something like that. Yeah. So he grew up in America. He grew up basically Americanized. He came here as a child. So yeah, my great grandpa fought with the Americans. I have a picture of it somewhere on my Instagram, but it's a very long way down. He was a Chad. God rest his soul. So true. Rep isn't uploading. He's moving. Perfect opportunity is all I'm saying. That is true. You know what? Maybe we should take over for a little bit. It's very sad, dude. Rep, John Doyle, Elijah Schaefer, they all live in the same place now. And I'm just like, oh man, maybe I should have moved to Dallas instead of Florida. Maybe I should, or I shouldn't. I wasn't supposed to say it. I think they all say it publicly, but maybe I should have moved to Texas instead of Florida. David Bailey says your video quality has improved so much over the past few months. Thank you very much. Very epic. Let's go. Got to seize the rep viewer base while you can. That is true. Vince has become the first political YouTuber since James Alsop got banned. Let's go. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna probably wrap up the stream. I gotta freaking take my driving test tomorrow, so I gotta like study for that thing. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. I'll have a video out tomorrow, video out Monday. I probably won't see you guys on the 4th of July. So happy 4th of July. Base, let's go. To be clear, I disavow all violence against King George, but happy 4th of July. Come to Texas. I actually will be in Texas. Now, Jeff is making fun of me because I don't have my license. Hey, okay. We are Asian. Okay. We are Asian. We go slow. All right, Vilo. Do you want me on the road? Okay. Do you want me on the road? No. Do you want Asians to be rushing to be driving? I don't think you do. I don't think you do, buddy. Okay. All right. The roads are not safe with us. So, anyways, yeah. See you guys. Video out tomorrow. Video out Monday probably. I'll be in Texas, Dallas, Texas, July 9th to the 11th for CPAC. At least during CPAC. I probably won't go to CPAC, so I'll see you there. Also, if you are going to SAS, let me just say this again. If you're going to SAS or you live near Tampa, come to the APU event, okay? The American Populist Summit is going to be very epic. John Doyle is headlining, and we'll probably have some more speakers added soon. So I won't put in just DM me for it. DM me for it. I'll send you the link. I'll send you a discount code as well. And very epic. Hope to see you there. And if you know anyone who is going to SAS, invite them. Okay, it's be very epic. But yeah, see you guys later. Alpha Moose only. Have a good night and peace out, you guys.